So, Fire Emblem 7, also known as Fire Emblem the Blazing Sword or Blade, depending on what translation you're referring to. This game is quite the important one, I would say.
Definitely.
As it is
yeah.
It's the first one in America, because the world, revolves around America, so that's important. But that all that aside, it was called only Fire Emblem, but it's actually not Fire Emblem.
What the fuck is this tangent? Where is this leading to?
I don't know where it's... Okay, I know where it's leading to. Anyway, yeah, so this was the first game that, like, everyone outside of Japan actually got their hands on. And honestly, it was a pretty good first impression of the series, I would say. A lot of people... There's some divisive opinions about the GBA era of Fire Emblem these days, about how they didn't really do anything new or innovative with the series. But if you ask me, I mean, that kind of makes sense. This was the era of Fire Emblem where Shozo Kaga, thank fuck, left. So, we got better games out of it, except for one of them. FE4 is really good. That aside, obviously they had to basically start from the ground up. So we got more simple games as a result. And that's honestly not bad. Like FE6 and FE7 especially have very, very good map design, I would say. I have fun with them, at least. That might be a controversial take as well. A lot of people shit on FE6, but I think FE6 is good. And they always shit on the bad maps, or like on the non-bad maps too. So like I don't get it. Non-issues. But this isn't about FE6. Anyway, FE7.
I can't.
Where do we begin? We'll get there eventually.
Honestly though, I feel like the GBA era, it definitely made the archetypical like Fire Emblem game. So when people like hate on GBA, I find it super weird because it's like this is like the base formula for Fire Emblem. It's like kind of like hating the first game in the series that you like. It doesn't make any sense. Like you can't hate it. You have to at least say it's B tier. You can't hate the GBA games. And that's like kind of weird to me. But I don't think it was like. It was like, I don't know if it was a good direction from Yggdrasil. I thought Yggdrasil was like super cool, and then GBA is like kind of like simple, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. But I definitely thought FE7 at least could have had better maps. FE6 I'm a little bit rusty on. I don't remember if the maps were like dog shit. I played it like when I was in high school. I don't like remember if the maps were like fucking atrocious. I don't think they were atrocious. I think people just don't like ambush fonts.
You talking about FE6?
Yeah.
Well, FE6 had, it's got a lot of the same stuff that you could come to expect from Hector Hard Mode, but it's also got some other stuff in there. Honestly, I mean, unless you go to Sacae's maps suck ass. They have ambush spawns everywhere, tons of enemies, terrible, like absolutely terrible.
And that was the one we got in Engage, one of probably the most hated maps in the series. I haven't even like played it, and everyone is completely bitches about it. And
Fire Emblem Engage, Law of Sacae. Shit.
You were making fun of me for not being able to beat it on my first run on Maddening, though.
Yeah, but it's shit.
Oh my god, we should probably talk about FE7. I feel like we got completely
Okay, so FE7. Yeah, this game came out in 2003, and honestly, it was a big step forward in the series. I mean, you mentioned how with Juke Draw, it was a step back in like gameplay wise, but in everything else, I actually think it was a step forward. I enjoy it a lot, obviously, but in terms of like narrative and like writing, I think FE7 was a giant step forward for the series, because for the first time, without any like subtext or like any other interpretation needed, we have the main lore dynamic between Eliwood and Hector. I'm not talking about Lyn yet, we'll get to her in a minute, but between Eliwood and Hector at least, they actually sold the dynamic of best friends really well without any sort of interpretation.
Oh no, for sure.
For the first time, these character relationships actually told themselves solely through the game. And that is awesome. I love that.
Yeah, I definitely think like FE7, the thing that makes me like about it is definitely the characters and the interactions and they have, and just like how campy it all feels. It feels like all cheesy, and I like that. That's like what I like about it the most.
Oh yeah.
I think it could have still been improved. I feel like basically the stuff that we have like in Lyn mode, like how all the characters interact, I wish Hector and Eliwood interacted with that a little bit more, but there's so much plot that, you know, I guess they just couldn't talk as much. But it's like when they do like talk and when they are like joking around and stuff, it's like, oh, I wish it was like that more often. But there's so much plot that you just can't. So,
Sleep.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I mean, FE7's also unique in its story too. I mean, it's the first one. It's the first one that had a story that wasn't just about like entirely about war. Like, yeah, war was in the background, but it was more of a personalized narrative. You know, like it was just about a bunch of friends getting in over their heads, going on a journey. It's literally just started about them trying to find Eliwood's dad, and like there really wasn't a war involved. Like there was thoughts about rebellion, but there was no actual war, and that's pretty interesting. That's the first time that the series did that.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, because like the whole like thing with the Black Fangs, that they were trying to cause a war in Lycia or whatever. So, or Lycia.
But there was no war.
Yeah, but it's like you can't say it's not about war when Nurgle's motives is like trying to start a war.
All right. Let me say it like this. All right. It's the first game where the plot wasn't. Lord has to flee from homeland and then has to come back and reclaim it against bad empire that comes in.
Real? My go game.
I mean, like I said, Kaga can only write one storyline, but.
Oh my god.
But that's another episode. That's a whole. You know, we gotta have an episode where I just shit on Kaga, to be honest, because we're getting way too close here.
No, but yeah, I get that. I get that. Yeah, it was definitely about something different. Still about dragons, I guess. Actually, I mean, how does like the whole thing with the Medius even play into the plot of FE1?
Medius? Okay, like what do you mean by the whole thing with Medius?
Because like I guess like it's the opposite. Like how does the war with like the stuff happening with Altea and like Rust, like all that stuff, like what does that have to do with Medius? Oh, I have no idea actually.
Okay, so, all right. So basically, Garneth, the big sorcerer, stinky guy. Right, my favorite goat right there, the original G. He started all this shit basically because he's evil. You know, he touched the big bad book, the Amulu, and he became mean and evil and stuff. So because of that, he then started gaslighting every country into having a war with each other. And Medius, the way Medius comes into this is because he struck an alliance with Medius because Medius hates humanity. And there's a whole reason for that in the backstory of the game. But yeah, Medius hates humanity, so he worked together with Garneth to basically, you know, end humanity. And that's why they were fighting against Altea and Arcanea. And Grust, Macedon, and a couple of the other countries allied themselves with Medius and Garneth because they didn't want to die, basically.
But they were gonna die anyway because they hate humanity.
Oh yeah, but you know that's what Garneth was gonna do. But Garneth wanted to use them while he could. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. That's like low key, off topic again. But yeah, that's like my least favorite thing when like people are just like thinking they would be different. Like they'll be like the one like nation that would be allowed to live. It's like what?
Yeah.
But,
no.
But yeah, basically in all, FE7 is something slightly different, I guess. Points for FE7, real. I agree.
Yeah.
Honestly, what were some of the things that people said they hated about FE7? On like
let's get into that. All right, this game gets
have to tell into the origin story, the Lolina Gaming villain origin story.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this game gets a big ass like hate piece all the time. I don't know what the hell people's deal with this game is. They just, you know, but you know, this is just Twitter mentality. You know, you go onto Twitter You drop a take being like, man, I love this thing, and then you have a bunch of cheeky fucks coming in, and then being like, oh, dude, this thing sucks, actually. I didn't like it, so it's bad. Like, okay, I don't give a fuck what you think, alright? I'm coming in here and saying that I like the game, so fuck off, alright? If you're just gonna be here to spread negativity vibes and all that shit, then, go. Leave, please. Get out. Please. Go away. But anyway, I digress for that. More specifically for this, I made a post about FE7. All right, let's go back. I think it was like almost a year ago at this point. That's fucking crazy. I'm getting old. But I played FE7 on twitch.tv/Lulina Gaming. By the way, no plugin. By the way, no advertising. Are we allowed to advertise here? Are we allowed? Am I allowed to plug my fucking Twitch?
Yes. Oh my god.
Okay. Got you. All right, so twitch.tv.Lulina Gaming / whatever the hell. I was playing FE7 for the first time in a few years. I was like, oh yeah, well, let's play it. And then I was like, man, I love this game. I finished it and I was like, man, I love this game. The maps are fun. The atmosphere in the final map. I'm gonna get to that in a second too. That's another point. We haven't even talked about Lyn. That's another point too. I got to talk about Lyn. But yeah, I played that game and then I was like, man, this game was really freaking good. And I went on to Twitter and I said, man, I thought this game was really freaking good. And then sure enough, a bunch of people came in here and then tried to tell me, FE7 was actually bad. So, it was actually bad. Its map design sucked. It's boring. You can just solo it with all the pre-promotes. And the story is lame and boring, and I hate it. And Nurgle is a shitty villain. Okay.
What?
All right.
Where are you going with that, Peter?
Where was I going with that? Oh yeah. So I'm sorry, I'm being lost. ADHD moment, my bad. Anyway, so well, let's address all these. Let's address all these points. All right,
Okay.
let's address these points. Number one, game's too easy. You can sell it with the pre-promotes. All right. Well,
like what? That's like almost every game.
That's every fucking Fire Emblem game. All right, look at fucking Sacred Stones. I see so many people gassing up Sacred Stones all the fucking time. Shitter Stones. Oh, I love Sacred Stones. Yeah, easiest fucking game in this series. I'm gonna gas that shit up. All right, then I better not be
haven't
seeing
you
shit
seen
up.
that run where someone sold it with Seth, but he was carrying Erica the whole time?
You literally can do it. You literally can. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't get it.
It's like, this is the thing with Fire Emblem fans that I don't get. They'll like get a hardish game like FE6 and then they'll get mad that it's too hard. But they get an easy game like FE7 and then they complain. I don't know what they want.
Well, it's not actually the same group who's doing the complaining. So. But yeah, whatever.
And it's like, honestly, when I was like replaying it recently, like FE7, I was like, it was like, yeah, the game can be like soloed by like a good paladin or whatever. But I was like, I don't know. Like my units were like dying sometimes. Sometimes I did have to think a little bit. But sometimes the game didn't like me thinking. No, have you ever tried to silence Ursula? Or Sonya? Have you ever tried to silence
No! I just juggernaut him.
No,
but,
the game like literally tells you to silence Sonya and you can't do it. Her res is too high. That actually pissed me off. I was like, I tried to think and like use utility.
No, you can't. I fucking can't.
It was just like insane because just like, so like Ursula can basically one shot so many units with bolting. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna silence her. And you just can't silence her. And I'm like, what? What? So
no, you can't even fucking do it. I fucking can't, bro.
Yeah, it was just like quite insane. I was just like, how the fuck am I supposed to talk to Nino and Jaffar?
Deranged, even.
I guess you're just supposed to kill Ursula first, but I don't know.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that map.
Oh, Battle Before Dawn? Oh, real?
I fucking love Battle Before Dawn. One of my favorite maps in the whole fucking Fire Emblem series.
It's so weird because like I feel like FE7 has some of the most mid whatever maps in the series, but the good maps in it are like the best maps in the series. It's so weird.
Yeah, like I like 4 Fanged offense. I liked I like Battle Before Dawn. It's so fucking good. I love the Dragon's Gate's pretty freaking good. Love that one. There's quite a few other ones, but yeah, like Battle Before Dawn. All right, this is a map that gets a lot of slander. A lot of people don't like how random it is. A lot of people don't like that you have to rush and that Jaffar can die. Well, Jaffar is supposed to be like an Easter egg character if you think about it, because he doesn't even turn blue when you talk to him. You know,
Yeah.
It's a bonus. It's a little piece of candy that you can get if you get lucky. You know, like recruiting Nino is not hard at all.
Oh yeah, for sure. Honestly,
No.
I feel like I do like rush it, but I feel like that's not a bad thing that you have to strategize or whatever.
It's fun.
It is like kind of fun to rush. The thieves get to the chest so fucking fast.
It's
They
such
get
a
to
fun
them
and
so
exhilarating
fast.
map.
Oh no, it definitely
so.
is. I feel like it's one of the only good Fog of War maps ever. And it's like
No,
you
for real, it
actually-
is.
And you actually have like tools to make it not a pain in the ass. You have torch staff at that point, not just
You have
like
torch
torches.
staff.
Yeah, if you like come prepared, because I mean you can see that it's Fog of War and they tell you lights are off, so you can prepare for it. You should have like a torch staff. You should have like thieves and torches. Like you should have the resources to not make it a pain in the ass. But yeah, torch staff is like so good because you don't actually, the radius is not where you are, so you can actually see what's in the hallway ahead. So it's like super
you
good.
can launch it.
Yeah,
you can launch it.
Yeah, it's like super good. So my like most like recent experience with it, which was like yesterday, was like super fucking fun. No, like Ursula can literally double you at bolting. I didn't know she could do that. That actually like
Wow,
spooked me.
it never happens to me.
No, because I was carrying Nino across, and I guess Kent was slowed down. But it's like bolting weighs like 20. I was just so perplexed. I was like, what is going on? But no,
so
like,
fun though. Such a fun map.
no, it is, and it's like I like having like a lot of stuff going on. So you have like one team going this way, then you have one team going this way, while Jaffar is doing his thing down there, and then it's definitely nice on like a blind playthrough if you don't know Ursula is there. It's like I can't like completely remember how I felt back in high school, or it might have been middle school actually. I played this game a long time ago for the first time, but basically I don't remember how I felt the first time, but I was probably super fucking spooked.
No, it's scary. The atmosphere in that map is peak. Like,
oh yeah, and then you have the assassins coming for Zephiel. I like Fire Emblem maps where there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of like time objectives to like push you to move forward instead of like turtling.
Yeah.
I love anti-turtle because turtling is the most boring bullshit ever, which is like I kind of don't like Cog of Destiny that much. It's just a bunch of choke points. It's kind of boring.
oh fuck, Cog of Destiny. That map was like okay on like normal mode, but then on hard mode, it just became a bunch of dark mages, and it sucks.
Yeah, I just don't. Yeah, it's just like boring. Just like, okay, choke points, done. That's the map. Like, I don't know why people bring it up sometimes. It's like, oh, this is like one of the best FE7 maps, and it's like literally Battle Before Dawn was a chapter before. I don't even know why Cog of Destiny is the conversation.
It fell off. All right. The last couple maps in FE7, except for like the end game, I think are kind of shit anyway. But
The Sonya map is
that's
super shit. I hate that.
oh, that one's shit. Cog of Destiny shit. Sands of Time is shit. The one with Lime Stella is shit. Yeah. What? I mean, but like the map's good, you know. Like at least Battle Before Dawn is. It's got a lot of shit to go on. A good story gameplay integration, and if you like
great story
anti-turtle,
integration.
if you like anti-turtle, you would love FE12. I don't know. I don't think you've played that one yet, but you got to play New Mystery. Like that whole game is designed around being a player phase oriented experience that does not let you turtle. You have to completely be on the offensive most of the game.
Oh, that sounds sweet. I like that.
Oh yeah, no, it's awesome. It's like peak. The original Mystery of the Emblem was boring as fuck. That's me playing the original Mystery of the Emblem. Makes sense because Kaga made it, but you know they made the game better. No, it's okay. But like, I think Thracia is not boring. I think FE3 is boring though.
Okay. Yeah, you've like definitely played more FE games than me. I haven't played a ton of like the super old ones yet, or like the ones that like are on DS, but I'm probably gonna play the Marth games this week. I think I like some of the characters, so I kind of want to play it.
I actually beat Gaiden recently.
Oh, you beat Gaiden. I played
You didn't see my tier list for
3 hours
it,
of
but,
Gaiden. No, I think
it's interesting. Gaiden is interesting. It's very different from SOV in terms of gameplay. Like it is like an entirely different meta. I swear.
Which is funny because people say it's like too faithful.
No, it's not too faithful because they added. Okay, you know, I'm saving this for the fucking SOV episode. Okay, the SOV episode is gonna be like one of the best ones. But I'm saving this for the SOV episode. But for now, we're back to FE7. Okay, back to FE7. I know it's so tempting to sidetrack. I mean, I don't mind sidetracking too much because it makes the conversation more interesting. But you know, what was the other thing? Oh yeah. The story's lame. Okay, I mean, I guess there's some parts about the story that's lame. Like, I mean, Raven's grudge against Hector is kind of just swept under the rug. I wish that was addressed more.
Honestly, the way that units are, this is something I have to give to Echoes. I feel like Echoes integrated characters into the story so much better than every Fire Emblem game ever. Like in FE7, they just like talk to like grunts, recruit them, never appears in story ever again and does not matter. That's what Raven is. And it's like, what? Why is just a dude who wants to kill Hector just end the army, and you can just not get his A supports or whatever for Raven, and he just will always just want to kill Hector, and it's stupid.
Yeah, like, that's another problem with GBA FE is or just, I guess it started with GBA FE, was the support system. Because the support system basically changed how they had, like, the devs had to write characters into the story. Because no longer was it just, oh, you know, the characters have map talk conversations, or you see most of what they're about when they join. This is actually one thing that I guess Kaga had right to a degree, though he did yap a lot in Tearing Saga, but that's another thing. He had it right to a degree.
This is the shit on Kaga podcast, not the FE7.
No, there's another one. Okay, that's a different episode. The Shit Ring Saga episode will be later. Okay, but yeah, no, that was one thing Kaga did right. Was the fact that there wasn't supports, because when you have supports, you have to change how you write the characters, because it's like always like, oh, they introduced the age-ass annoying problem. We've all been there before. I know all of us have been there before, when we're just like, I don't know, I don't like this character, they're not that cool. And it's like, oh, but have you read their support with fuckface? No, I haven't. Well, there you go. No, they're actually interesting if you get the A support with this guy. Well, I didn't get the A support because I didn't want to use this guy. Well, that's your fault. You didn't read all the game's text, man. Okay, man, whatever.
That's how I feel talking about Three Houses Discourse. You have to look at every text in the game, or your opinion about anything on it isn't valid. And it's like, guys, this is the problem with Three Houses, is the fact that I have to do this. You just can't play the game and have opinions on it. You have to have a fucking degree in Folkland
in Three Houses
to fucking talk about it at all.
You have to have a 3 Houses degree, which honestly, I don't want to waste all my time playing through every single fucking route of 3 Houses, getting every single fucking support.
Real? Oh my god. The support video I did was so fucking draining. Some of those supports are so boring. Oh my god.
I would rather play through a fun game 5 times than 3 Houses 5 times.
Preach. And then not even just like play through it casually. You have to go see all the monastery dialogue and all this foolishness. You have to play through every paralog and all this foolishness. And it's like, okay.
Me playing 3 Houses.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so that is like something that FE7 does like kind of struggle with as well. Like, you can't just like play the game and then get like the gist of everything. You have, because like the characters aren't like integrated super well. The only ones that I would say are integrated well are the characters in Lyn mode. Most of them. Lucius doesn't fucking do anything in Lyn mode. But
yeah, true.
Some of the characters in Lyn mode, I would say Nino and Jaffar are integrated well.
Oh yeah.
And then Matthew is integrated. Yeah, well, he's in Lyn mode, so I already covered him.
Yeah,
but
that
yeah,
counts.
That's about it. I
but
feel like
Matthew's
everyone
still
else
good after Lyn mode. That's the thing. That's the difference. Matthew is still a good character even after Lyn mode ends.
Did you like that arc where he's like threatening to kill Nino and his Jaffar support?
Yeah!
That was so lame
cool.
to me. That was so lame. I was like, why is he acting like this?
I thought that was cool. I thought that was neat.
No, he's acts like an asshole. Just like, why would you?
She little fetus child. She doesn't deserve to get killed. Like, I get it. No, he's an asshole for that, but that's what makes it interesting.
I mean, I get it, but it's just like I just felt like the energy was just focused on the completely wrong direction. I don't think on a rewrite I would change it, but it just makes me frustrated with Matthew and Hector because it's like you guys are missing the big picture. Jaffar basically has no free will. He got a fucking brainstem like yesterday, guys.
No, I think that was the point, was that they were supposed to be like flawed, you know, in that they were intentionally written to like be in a weird standpoint where it's like you can see where they're coming from, but you don't necessarily agree with what with how they're dealing with the situation.
Oh yeah, definitely. I definitely just don't think they get enough shit for it, I guess. And then like at the end of the support, I thought it was like super like crazy when Matthew has a schizophrenic hallucination of Layla. Layla, is that you? Is this what you would have wanted?
Oh
I'm God. Like, whoa, what is this support, man? I don't like it. I was just like, I don't like this at all.
It's funny. No, it's funny. The schizo meltdown is kind of funny. But...
I like Matthew, he's a silly guy, not because he's depressed and sad about his dead fiance or whatever. I was like, what is this? But I don't know.
Real.
But yeah.
But another probable reason FE7 also struggles with this is other GBA, and I guess this extends to Path of Midians too.
Oh my God.
The problem. What? What?
You're literally just shitting on every game.
Yeah. Well, if I shit on every game, people can get mad at me for like, you know, being very like selective. Granted, I haven't shat on FE4 yet, but I mean, I don't know if that will happen for a minute. But Path of Midians and the GBA game, they have a problem where like they have a limit of 5 support conversations, so you can't even view that many of them per playthrough, and that's another thing that's annoying about it.
Oh yeah, it's like you can't do a lot of them, and then also the support growths are so low. No, some like crazy person on one of my videos that said, actually, I like the support system because it's strategic and you have to plan out every turn to get them to stand next to each other. How are you going to get Karel and Lucius to A support without sitting at the throne and playing with their dick for 80 turns? See, how? There's no strategy.
I agree with it. I agree with it for FE4. I think it's good in FE4, but I don't like it. I think it's good in FE4 when the whole point of the game is that, you know, you want your characters to get paired off so you can have kids. But like, I don't like it when I'm having to sit at the throne for like 20 turns grinding support.
It was just like the strategy argument goes out of the window when it's just impossible to do it in a
LTC format.
Yeah, it's impossible. Yeah. It's like, no, there's no strategy to it at all. It's just dicking around for like 100 turns and then like killing your tactician rank. And I don't know about you, but when I have like low tactics, I feel bad. I just start to LTC.
Yeah, and that's why it's good in FE4, because like you can LTC and still pair characters. That's why it's fun there. But that's why FE7 is bad. Like there's certain characters I just never get the support for. But there is one pair that I always make sure to get. And we will get there when we get to the character discussions, because there's more to do. But like, I still want to talk about the maps a little bit, because that's the main point of contention.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll definitely disagree.
One of my other favorites, right, is the one where you get it's Kinships Bonds. I think it's a defense map, and you get Wrath, Heath, and
that one is super
on
good.
it.
That one is super good.
I love that one. That one's just amazing. I love that. Everything about it is perfect. There's tons of side objectives, tons of characters to get. I mean, I guess that's part of the side objectives, but and then like the enemy variety is strong enough to where like you can either like you can't really juggernaut it like safely. I mean, if you're playing the game good enough, I mean, you can have like you can sort of juggernaut it, but it will still take you a few turns. And
definitely,
you know, you have to. Yeah, they have the weapon variety, they have enemy variety. It's really good. It's really fun. You're not just sitting at the choke point. Like you might sit at the choke point for a while, like for a little bit, but like you also can't move.
Where
Well, there's like 20 choke points.
I mean, I guess, but they didn't like really feel like choke points because all the enemies weren't coming from one direction, like in Cog of Destiny, where they're all
they all go in different ways, and it like made it to where like you had to have different squads on the map, and it was fun. It was cool.
Yeah, definitely.
I love it, and you can kill the boss early even.
Yeah,
it's very doable.
I killed him with Heath for the what do you call it, the dialogue or whatever the fuck? Yeah,
boss combo.
Dialogue. Yeah, the boss combo. That was epic.
Yeah, I love that map. There's just a lot going on. It's pretty intense. It's one of my favorites to play in the game, and yeah, it's just fun.
Definitely, I do think it's like super hilarious when Nils just passes out in the cutscene.
Oh yeah, I mean, like it's kind of funny, but like it's a contrived objective for sure, but it works.
I don't think it was like contrived per se. It's like Ninian was like, oh, I really want to help Eliwood, so Nils just like gives off, I guess, all of his stamina so she can do that, then just passes out. It's like, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, it's fun. It's a good map. The Dragon's Gate is also is like that. It's the one where you get Legault.
Oh, that's the Dragon's Gate? Oh my gosh, the Dragon's Gate. Yeah, the Dragon's Gate is like pretty good, honestly.
Yes.
The thief. I actually killed a thief that had the secret shop card. I forgot he had it.
Oh no.
Oh my god, big L for me. But it's like the one thing. I mean, I like the map.
Wait, hold on. Can you hear this? Wait, hold up.
Here, you have a soundboard?
There you go.
Yeah. It's my L.
Alright, there you go. There's your L.
It's basically like one thing that was like bothering me on that map is that Legault just changes direction so much. I think you can control his AI, but yeah, I was just chasing him down the entire time. It was just so annoying. I was like, what is going on? But yeah, that map is pretty good because you have that thing of like chasing down Legault at least, which is can be like feel like you have to like press forward every turn type of thing. So that's like kind of interesting. Darren is kind of a chump. What else is good about? I guess like the secret shop element is like cool too, but I feel like most people won't know where secret shop is, so I don't know.
It's just another classic, fun. You have to play fast map, you know.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
And there's other shit to get. There's always side objectives. I also like Fanged offense, specifically not the Fog of War version. I like the Linus version more, which might be a controversial take. I actually like that map.
Basically have never played the Wallace map. I'm not bad enough to get the Wallace map. My lords are high level at that map, so isn't that the thing?
I mean, I've played it a couple times, but it's fine. Lloyd is really scary, but aside from that, that's because it's in Fog of War. I mean, I really like the Linus version of it.
Yeah.
I think it's neat.
Yeah, I like Geitz. He's hot, so I've never like really had like any. I've never had any like temptation to even try to get the Wallace map and underlevel my lords for it. Isn't that like the thing, or is it something about like you have to use Kanos or something? Okay.
No, it's that.
Yeah.
Speaking of Kanos, the boat map is really good.
Oh yeah, that one is like okay-ish. It just kind of devolves into choke points or something, but it's okay, I guess.
I like how there's stealables. I always love when there's stealables on the bosses. Okay, I always love that. When
yeah.
FE7 has a lot of that.
Yeah, I don't even know how you're safely supposed to steal that, because it's not like you're gonna have support
rescue
up high. I mean, true. That's what I think. But yeah, I just
see. You have to use your mechanics. You have to use the game mechanics. Wow.
Shut up. Yeah, it was like I wanted to fucking kill him too. It's like you can't do that, I think, safely. You can, but like I got crit when I tried to do it. I was like, oh, fuck this.
That's
He's like
fair.
a level 18 shaman. I mean, yeah, it's like you just can't get support points up high enough to like have enough crit avoid to just get this fucking guy. But I guess you could use Lyn against him or something, and maybe she would have enough crit avoid if she has really high luck. I don't know. Stop doing the sound effect. I think, yeah. Honestly, I was thinking about this because I was thinking of like doing a video about utility classes in Fire Emblem and kind of like how I feel like Engaged kind of killed thieves, kind of, from Fates especially. Well, Three Houses killed them first. Three Houses killed them first.
I personally do agree to a certain extent. I loved out. I mean, especially at the game. I'm gonna say this is the one game the Kaga made that I'll only say positive things about. But I do think that Thieves were done and FE4 the best.
Oh yeah, because they can
that's
like
because they just
money.
steal you money.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're
Like-
money makers and it's fun.
No, definitely. I definitely feel like usual Thieves are like pretty fun. You have to say both games. You can't just say only FE4. You have to say both games. I think like.
I mean, they're
both
all. I
games
mean,
are
they're decently fun in Thracia too. I mean, lockpicks are neat. Stealing is neat, but I mean, like most classes, stealing isn't the like most crazy thing because I mean, capture exists, but you know, it's still they could still do it.
Yeah, but it's like their way of doing it because like sometimes you just can't capture certain things like in a certain time. But I do get what you're saying, like, oh, capture exists. But I do just like yeah, I still like the options, the variety of options. It's not just one way to do something, multiple ways to do something. If your thief has enough build, they can just like steal weapons. That's like pretty cool.
No.
I feel like I got my Lippis to have a lot of build
Yeah.
because of like the scroll or whatever, and it was like super fun. But
I know I shit on FE5 a lot, but I actually have a lot of positives to say about that game too. I know, just because it's B tier doesn't mean I hate the game.
no, literally, someone was like getting on me because I called engage gameplay like B tier, and they got like
B
mad.
tier's
at me.
good.
Exactly.
But-
It's like I like a
Like,
lot of things
B-tier's
about
good.
it, but it's just like some stuff could have been better. It's like, no, dude, I'm just not dick writing. It's like good, but I'm just not dick writing. It's just like what?
B tier's like good. B tier's like a 7, maybe 8. You know.
Exactly. It's like a passing grade everywhere in the world. But I think like Fire Emblem fans, they only grade Fire Emblem games within the context of Fire Emblem. So they're just like, oh yeah, this was like the best in the series. How can you say it's B tier? Well, because it's not the best SRPG I've ever played. So there's that.
No, exactly. I mean, and that's another thing. People always look at the American grading scale and they're like, 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, those are bad. When it's like, no, like the definition of mid when I rank games is a 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like that's what you have to remember.
Oh no, definitely. It's just like so funny. I think like the funniest thing about putting yourself out there is just that the comments that you get and the people you interact with are insane. It's like actually so funny. When we like get to Lyn, I'll tell you about the comment I read. It was like hilarious. It's like,
oh brother.
What the fuck? But what were we talking about? I think we were talking about utility. Yeah, like GBA thief utility. It was like pretty good. And then I felt like probably around Awakening, thieves didn't do anything. I think they could just open chests. And then you have Fates, which then like lets you capture with thieves. I guess not. I don't know. I kind of like associated with Niles because he is the one that can do it, but I guess Orochi isn't like really a thief, but I kind of like still associated with them kinda, but I guess technically it's not associated with thieves. So
Right.
I guess like all thieves did in Fates was also unlock chests. And then I guess that's when they introduced daggers. So like daggers had debuffs, but that's not really a thief thing because butlers had daggers, so it's kind of unrelated to thieves. But yeah, actually I think 3DS is just what killed thief utility actually. And then like Three Houses and Engage cemented it in my opinion. It's like just completely dead. They're just
they're a very different class now.
Yeah, it's just like weird because like in Three Houses, I'm pretty sure everyone can open chests. I don't even know why you would go down thief line. And then
yeah, right? And then Ash has it as a personal skill.
Exactly. It's just like
No, Ash is my thief, bro. Ew. All right.
And
Whatever.
then like in Engage, it's like the poison mechanic. I like find it unnecessary most of the time. It's very unnecessary. You don't really need it, and because you have like back attacks which do like way more damage than the poison stacking, so it's just like their utility in Engage is pointless. So they can't do combat, they can't do utility, they're worthless, and it's like I don't get to use my favorite class in the series.
They make me mad. I hate them.
What's your opinion on Yunaka and Zelkov? You have to say it.
Zelkov is funny. I like him. I don't like Yunaka. She's annoying. She's annoying. She's annoying. She's annoying. And I want to rip off her head.
Oh my god. You only
That kind
like
of awkward, though.
You only like autistic characters. That's the only ones you like.
Yeah, Zelkov is autistic. Look at him. He literally has like the stim station. Like he brings a leer to the stim station. And jiggles his car keys. He's like me.
Oh my god.
I like him because he reminds me of myself. You know, we're both autistic. We're autism buddies. You know.
Why are you doing Zelkov like that? You like pretty much have Tourette's. Like you're like a whole different breed.
What the fuck are you? Oh my gosh. That's wrong. You know, that's wrong. Like what the hell? That's like problematic.
How is that problematic? You literally
That's
just like
problematic. You can't
before
be
the
saying
call.
that.
No, before the call started, you were just literally like expletive and randomly. So oh, sorry, I had to get that out. That's like literally like a Tourette's. It's just like what? What's going on?
It's my ADHD also.
Okay, we'll go with
Okay.
that. It's not Tourette's. It's ADHD.
It's not Tourette. I don't have fucking Tourette's. Okay, I don't have random spasms.
I disagree with that, but so FE7. The point of that
Maps.
was-
We were
yeah,
finishing
maps.
up the maps. We're
Yeah.
finishing up the maps combos. Yeah.
Yeah. A map that you didn't
What's a shitter
mention-
map?
A shit map in FE7?
Unless you wanted to talk about another good map.
A good map that I like is I like Port of Badon. I feel like that one is like super duper fun if you play it right. I feel like most people they do the boring way, you're not supposed to do it, and then they don't remember it and think it's boring. But
Which
if
one?
you like the one where you fight Fergus.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I like the way I like playing it the Juggernaut way. It's funny.
Oh yeah, no, it's like definitely super funny because like I think it's like chapter like 16x and everyone just has silver weapons. You get to fight like a paladin and he's like not that scary, but it's like it looks scary at first, but Damien's a total joke. I don't know, that map is just like hilarious to me, honestly. I like the arena. I like the arena, so that there as well. There's also a lot of like fun things in it. I like that map a lot. Let me see. And I guess like even technically you could like try to kill Fergus, but you just lose if you do that. But I guess if you like wanted to for fun, you could like try to kill him or something.
I don't
So
know
it's,
who
like,
the fuck is killing him.
I've
but-
seen people do it, but it's just like I don't know why you would want to do that.
It's literally game over. Like,
I guess it's a fun little challenge. It's something to do with your reward. It's a fun little challenge.
yeah, you beat. We're gonna beat Fergus this time, man. Like, yeah.
But yeah,
Alright.
like, I think like some of my friends, they legit like go all the way around, and they're like, "This map sucks." It's like, well, you played it wrong. You played
No,
it
you
like
didn't
you're
play it
bad.
the fun way. You didn't play it the fun way. You know, the fun zone. You know, you gotta play it like the, you know.
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I'm saying? Like real.
Super duper real. Okay, so those are like my two maps from FE7 that I really like.
Yeah, we
Like,
talked about a lot of
basically-
maps that we do like. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like those are the ones that I like, but I find the rest of them to be like super whatever, to be honest. It's just like I don't like FE7 for the gameplay, but the maps are like super good, are some of the best in this series in my opinion. That's
I
like,
do
my
have to
take.
talk about one more.
Okay.
A little bit, but do you have any ones that you want to say that are shit, you know, to spice it up before we get to the, like, do you have any ones that you think are just god awful? Because I have one that is god awful that I'm thinking of right now.
Let me think. Honestly, besides the fucking 26x, none that I can like super think of off the top of my head. That one was fucking terrible. Cause it's just like
Yeah.
you can't like you have to basically memorize how what turns the platforms go on so you can optimize your movement. But also, even then, the platforms appear too slowly, so you're just dicking around waiting for the platforms to show up, and then you have like the bolting from Sonya to deal with, so you also have to turtle some more and wait for her to waste her bolting, kind of. And it's just like, I don't like that. Because, like, basically, it's like, I guess, like, technically, you could just send in, like, all the strong characters to, like, go kill Sonya and stuff like that. I guess, like, one thing that did piss me off was that, like, the chest in the top right of the corner, you can't really get to them until you kill Sonya, because your thief will just get one shot by bolting. Probably. If it hits or something.
Yeah.
I didn't like that at all. It's like, you can't, like, do that in the middle of the chapter. You have to, after you beat Sonya, you have to go over there with your thief and then do it. And it's just like, what? Like, who thought this was, like, good? It's just like so slow. I think it took me like 30 turns or some shit. It's like, that's so long.
It's an annoying map for sure. And it's an echo of the really annoying Four Blaze map from FE6.
Was that one also Water Temple?
Yeah, but that's the same gimmick to it.
Okay.
But one thing I do, where the map that you haven't brought up, which, well,
what?
This one's shit. All right. This is like I genuinely, in my opinion, like the worst fucking map. It's like a top 5 contender for worst maps in this series. You might remember it when I bring it up. Most people don't go to it because that freaky boy Pent out here does a lot of killing for them. But I'm talking about 23X or whatever the fuck number it is, depending on what mode you're playing. Genesis. That one sucks complete ass. Genuinely, I have never played a map that has made me more angry than that one. Like, it is
you
so...
got screwed over somehow. You have to tell me how you got screwed over.
No, it is so blatantly, like, at least on hard mode, it is so blatantly bad. Like, it is such a blatantly
Kishina
terrible
moves around on hard mode. Is that the reason?
He does move around on hard mode. Yeah, a little bit. But also, the enemy stats are all just so much bigger. Like, and they're all pre-promoted units, and there's boltings everywhere that they conveniently can hit you with.
Oh, that sounds terrible. Why are there boltings on that map?
The magic seal.
You can't even, like, release
Kashuna leaves is the problem. Like, Kashuna will leave. Once Kashuna leaves, like, you can't heal. You have to tank boltings, and you can't heal because Kashuna is positioned in a way that conveniently the enemy's boltings aren't being hindered. So then you have to sit there, and you have to heal, and you have to get lucky. I mean, I guess you could use barrier staff, but you can't fucking use the barrier staff when you're inside the magic circle. It's just bad.
No, that doesn't sound like
Hector is force deployed, and guess what? His res is shit.
Honestly, his res, I think, is the best of my 3 lords right now. Maybe Lyn is slightly higher than him, but Eliwood's res is terrible, so...
But yeah, Hector's force deployed, and then Hawkeye is not terrible for the map because he's got good res. I mean, Hawkeye's not bad, but by that point in the game, like, all your good units are, of course, mages that would be able to deal with the map pretty well. And guess what? You can't use your fucking mages. And, like, you can't use Pent for it. You'd love to use Pent for it. Pent's unavailable. Sorry. Well, shit, man.
Yeah.
And tell me your Urk's gonna be doing a lot of shit in there? No, he's not. Knos can't do cook in there either. It's just bad. It's not fun. It's not fun.
No, definitely not. I feel like you just have to be spamming elixirs at that point, and then you can't even, like, attack with the good units because you're elixirs. So
Fiora saves me a little bit there. Like, it's like you have to use your Falcon Knights if you have them.
Fiora.
Fiora's such a good
We're
unit,
a Fiora nation. We're a Fiora nation.
Oh, I love Fiora.
I hate train up Florina for basically no benefit because her sister is better than her when she tries.
Both of them are. Like, even Farina is, which Farina is another character that I really like. Well, we're gonna get into Farina though later. Once we get into, like, the quote controversial opinions.
Is it a controversial opinion
that's the worst
Farina? Are people stupid?
Yeah, because they think she's racist because of the Carla conversation. But that's aside from the point. That's aside from the point. I'm not saying controversial because of that reason. All right, there's other shit at play here.
Okay.
All right, but we'll get into that. But yeah, I mean, that's what I think is the worst map. Obviously, you're gonna put some visuals to this, I'm assuming. When you're editing it. But yeah, the 20 fuck whatever the fuck X. That shit sucks. All right, it's terrible. I hate it. And whoever made it, they probably were on Kaga's design team because that feels like a Kaga map. It really does. Like, it feels like one of Kaga's worst designed maps. It really feels like it.
Which one are you like thinking is like? Yeah, it's so gimmicky, to be honest. It's really gimmicky.
It feels like a Thracia Gaiden chapter.
A Thracia Gaiden chapter.
That's what it feels like. Which, you know, in Thracia, the Gaiden chapters are the worst maps in the game.
per chance.
I mean, look, 24X complete. Like that's like the worst Fire Emblem map ever made. Like I said, Genesis was in like top 5. Like 24X in Thracia is the worst. It is the number 1. It is the bottom 1 in question.
I'm crying, dude.
It's terrible. I don't know if you've ever played it yet, but it's bad. It's bad.
Maybe I'll have some opinions on it. No, because like I like Thracia a lot, but I never like got to like beat it because Xavier's recruitment requirements made me drop the game, and then I lost my.
Oh yeah, that shit's terrible too.
Like
that's bad.
I was looking at the guide and I was like, "What is this?" And then like I just never picked up the game again, and then my computer exploded, and that was like years ago, and I was like, I don't want to like go all the way back to where I was, but now I'm like actually gonna beat it this time. My friend, he just told me to kill Xavier because it's too much work. I'm like, I might do that because I just don't. But it's like
I recruited him
missing.
once.
It's like I hate missing characters though. But it's like, yeah, that sounds really fucking stupid.
I've only recruited him once. I didn't want to bother with him any other time. I did it once just to say I fucking did it, and that was it.
No, totally.
And before you ask, no, it wasn't the time that I played on original hardware without save states. It wasn't that time. I did beat the game without save states before, though. I have beaten like the whole game. So yeah, I feel like I can, like everything. I have played Thracia 776 the way God has intended, so I can't. A lot of the things I say about it, I can be taken seriously.
Oh no, that's real. Yeah.
So.
I definitely like restarting the chapters when I mess up, but yeah, I think like probably like the one. Well, is that just like the one Gaiden chapter you didn't like? I thought the Pern one was okay. Was that one also bad?
That one's eh. 14X is bad. It's the one where you have to flee Tara and like there's all those Pegasus Knights like capturing the kids and stuff. It's like really annoying.
Let me see. Let me look at the.
Like obviously we'll go in more depth on it whenever we end up talking about Thracia, which I'll probably replay Thracia for that because.
Yeah.
I actually want to play Thracia again. As much as I like shit on that game, I do like it. So.
I mean, yeah, it's like in your B tier. I like make fun of you because it's not an A tier, but it's like B tier is fine.
It's top of B tier.
Yeah, everything is not like for everyone, so it's like I don't know.
Yeah, no,
I
it's
don't,
like it's my top of B.
I definitely like don't get on people if like something's in my S tier or like in my A tier and it's not in their S or A tier. The only time I'll be like, what? Is like if it was like in their C tier or D tier. I'm like, wait, what is going on?
Yeah.
That's like the only thing. But B tier is like fine.
No. Especially if it's like top of B. That's like almost A tier.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Let's see, chapter 14. Let's see what this map looks like, because I have
14X is the one where you get Linoan on it. You recruit Linoan. You get her.
Oh my god, I was like, what the fuck is this? Okay. FE7. It pulled up. Oh no, isn't this the one with the ambush spawn dark mages?
Yes, and the Pegasus Knights.
That one was so funny though.
It's annoying.
It was funny. I like Thracia because it's funny. So.
Yeah, funny is certainly a way to put it. I'm sure it'll be funny when you play 24X and then half of your units get warped into a room that you have to use a rescue staff to get them back out. I'm sure it'll be funny when they have a bunch of status staves that you just have no chance of avoiding.
I'll tell you how I enjoy it. But yeah, it's like insane.
Do not look up a guide for it then, by the way. Do not look up a guide for it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not using a guide this time I'm playing Thracia, I think. because I think I know
Okay.
mostly how everything goes, so it's like it's fine. I was looking at the guide for like recruitment because some recruitment is like stupid. So like,
Oh
need
yeah,
it
I'm
for
pretty
that.
sure because I mean yes, it is like textbooks example Xavier.
And even like the Lipus thing, I might be a little bit slow. I was definitely trying to kill Lipus, even though I played that map so many times. I like forgot you can just capture him. I thought you had to like injure him or something.
No, you just capture.
Yeah, because he doesn't have a weapon. I totally forgot. So yeah, this run would be terrible, but it's fine.
But we're done with FE7 maps. Let's move on to the next thing. Actually, I want to talk about the last map, which segues into the next point I want to talk about before we get into the big juicy last one, big general point here. The end game map. The map design itself isn't that great. I mean, it's just average. You know, it's whatever. It's just a bunch of corridors with bosses in it. But the atmosphere of that map is actually really nice. I really like it. The map theme is amazing. The fact that they took the scouring weapons from FE6, right? Like the few of them at least.
Yeah.
And they gave them their own battle theme. And I think that is so cool. To this day, they had unique animations, unique battle themes. It was like this is like not to even sound corny. Like in all intents and purposes, it was badass. Like I really love how the legendary weapons in that game felt. They had so much like style to them. And they had their own theme. Like it's just so cool.
The cut-in when they are in a battle. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, and like
the cut-in, yeah. It's cool.
They have their own like animation. Like literally that Lord's animations change when they equip the weapon. Like it's so cool. I mean, Lyn has the fucking jiggle physics on the Soul KATTI, which is another thing. We'll get into Lyn. We'll talk about Lyn later. Everything about Lyn, the good and the bad. But I actually have a lot of positives to say about Lyn, though. I don't hate her as much as a lot of people do. But that aside,
go into my villain origin story.
One thing I do not like about Lyn is that they gave her the Soul KATTI instead of just the Mula gear.
I think what they wanted to do was that they wanted to like make her. I don't get it though, because like I don't know why they wouldn't just give her. Well, I guess they wanted her to. Dude, I'm actually trying to rationalize it, and I don't know what they were thinking, because if you wanted her to match Hector and Eliwood, then just give her a trial that they had with Mula gear instead. And then
exactly.
But it's like, why would you just let Athos just give her some random fucking bullshit weapon that she can barely wield? That only she can wield. It's like weird.
Mula gear would just make more sense because she's literally Mrs. Sacae. Like,
yeah, she's from Sacae, so I don't know why she couldn't. I don't get it. I'm trying to rationalize it, and it actually just makes no sense. I think that is like something they should definitely change in a remake of FE7. Like, just give her a trial,
give her the Mula gear,
and then give her Mula gear. Yeah, it makes no sense.
And like Fire Emblem Heroes and all the spin-offs seem to be of the same mindset too, because they keep giving her fucking Mula gear. Like Engage, her best weapon, wasn't the Soul KATTI. I don't think it was the Mula gear.
Yeah.
Like the writing is clear on the wall. I feel like the Soul KATTI is going to get canceled in a remake.
Oh, you don't even think it'll appear? Yeah, I feel like if they do the change that we're like suggesting, I don't know where it would fit in the story. Unless they just got rid of Monogatari and made it Soul KATTI. Like, they just changed the name to Soul KATTI, and then... But what would be the purpose of that?
Yeah.
I feel like... I don't know.
I feel like that maybe they could just literally have her have, like, 2 weapons. I don't know. Fucking... Or maybe, like, they changed the Soul KATTI to where it's just an S-rank sword that, like, anyone can use.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I agree. Just axe it. Just axe it. It doesn't need to be there.
It doesn't need it. We don't want it. I don't want it. I'm not nostalgic for it. I would rather see her use the epic bow.
No, like, for sure. Like, for real. Yeah. It's definitely, like, super perplexing. But, yeah. The atmosphere of the last map, I can definitely see what you're seeing. Definitely is probably, like, one of the more, like, cool... late game chapters, I would say.
The dialogue's great. The dialogue's great for it. Like, the build-up is great. Like, the text is great. The music is great for the map theme. It was one of my favorite endgame map themes. We're actually going to include it at some point here, but probably during this part of the discussion would be good to put it, actually, if anything. But the legendary weapon theme is cool. The legendary weapons themselves are cool. I wish later games did what they did and had unique animations. It was just so cool. And final boss, the dragon itself it's kind of a mid final boss, but I like it for what it is, and the ending of the story is sweet. All right, and it's just neat. Every time I get to the end game of FE7, I'm just always like, man, this game's really good. I always like enjoy the ending. It's just nice.
Yeah.
It's just nice.
Is it like a little bit bittersweet? Because I don't know. I'm definitely not getting the Eliwood and Ninian support. I'm not getting it. So
we're gonna get to that. I mean, in a second for sure. Eliwood and Ninian, but because I have some choice things to say about them, but
yeah.
That's part of the controversy.
What?
But,
what is controversial about Elinini? What?
A lot of people hate it for some fucking reason, and they're weird.
No, you just use Twitter too much. That's not a real controversy. Everyone ships Eliwood and Ninian. It's not.
Well,
real.
There's another one. The real controversy. Sorry for getting real close. The real controversy is over Hector and who Hector fucks.
I mean, he has no good marriage options really, except for Farina, I guess, but not really.
Farina is the only one I support him with for sure, but because I think they actually have really fun chemistry, and that's why I like them.
Yeah.
But I don't like his supports with anyone else. It just doesn't work for me.
Yeah, his other like options are like Lyn and Florina. The Florina one is like super weird. I don't know. He just makes her cry, and that was like the whole support.
It's mid and like weird. It's like you're just most stereotypical like shy girl, like brash guy, but like derogatory. Like it doesn't do anything good with it.
Yeah. I can't say I have. Yeah, Farina is basically the only one, and you can't even do that in like until you do Hector mode.
Hector mode, yeah, which is kind of fitting in a way. Hector, gets his best option on his own mode. I mean,
I definitely just did the bro A support between Hector and Eliwood.
I mean, I can't even fault you for that.
Yeah.
I don't like how their A support their support is just like, hey, what if we have kids one day and they make out? Like that's corny as fuck. Like
that was their B support. The A support was like fine though, I guess. But it's like I don't understand why the FE6 fan service support is there. It's so random. It's like
it's so weird.
It's like they have 3 different supports in one support. Their C support is something else. Their B support is something else, and their A support is something else. It's like it's not one conversation basically. It's like okay.
To be honest, though, I kind of like that to some degree because it makes them feel like more realistic friends because they just talk about something different every day.
That could have been just like random dialogue in the story though about Hector's stupid dream. They need to be their B support. Oh my god.
The B support could have been unrelated to their C support, but it could have been something else. That's what I'm saying. I agree with you. I don't think it should have been the FE6 fan service, but I think it should have been something else. But it didn't need to be related to the other 2 conversations. Like I'm okay with them being friends who just talk about random shit. It makes them more relatable in that way.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. But when it's like, okay, so I do agree with that in theory, but it would have to be like done well. Like I agree with that in theory though. But it's like if it's just like
random conversations,
yeah, if it's not, I feel like it should still like build on something, not necessarily talking about the same thing for 3 times, but it should definitely like build on their dynamic over time a little bit more.
Well, yeah,
so you understand
obviously.
the dynamic a little bit more.
Of course,
but, yeah,
of course.
Then it'll like be fine. But I feel like the support chain as it is now, it feels like super like incongruous. It doesn't flow very well, in my opinion.
Yeah, and last part of the segue from Endgame is Nino. I really like Nino's boss conversations with all of her family. I think it's really nice, and that goes into the point of the just general conversation, all the characters. I really like Nino. She's like, there's some people who don't like her for like one reason or another, but I think she's genuinely one of the like better characters from that game. I feel like a lot of her popularity is deserved.
I feel like people don't like Nino because she's popular. I don't really have strong feelings about Nino. I don't think she's bad. I think like it's like decent for what it is, but yeah, I don't know. Most of her stuff on screen is basically like I don't know, her wanting Sonny's affection, that's like cool and stuff, and then she like, what do you call it? she Florence Nightingale's Jaffar, and then she becomes a completely different person after that, I guess. And then
Whoa.
What?
All right. I mean, all right. No. Don't pay me any mind. Don't pay me any mind.
What? That's what happened in like the Lloyd chapter, Linus chapter.
All right. Keep going. Whatever you keep.
Yeah, he
fucking...
becomes like a completely different person, and it's like okay, that's cool or whatever. And then she like, I thought when she was listening on Zephiel's prayer, it was good. I won't say it's bad or anything. It was good. And then she like
careful,
can't do it.
Don't fuck with Nino fans. They'll get toxic.
I'm literally not saying anything. I just think she's good. I just don't think it's like the peakest peak thing ever. But it's like, I mean, they did their work. They developed it. But
well, I don't think she's super peak, but I think she's, for what she is, she's a really nice character.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think of anything, Jaffar should have gotten more. I think like his personality completely changing after he gets Florence Nightingale in one scene was a little bit much. But
I mean, yeah.
Nino was fine, I think. But I guess I kind of just
no, she was steadily. It was steady with her.
Yeah, Jaffar is just the what that, like completely like personality snaps and one scene basically. It's a little bit.
Let's just talk about the Black Fang though. Like
the Black Fang.
I really like the Black Fang. I love them. I think they are like
Brendan Reed
one of the best.
Terrible. He's
I don't really like him, but
Brendan Reed's a simp.
The Black Fang is one of the best like villain factions we've ever seen like in the series, and I will stand by that.
No, for sure, it's like super good because like you have it like built up over time, like how the Black Fang used to be in the past, and you have like old members like Legault leaving. I think Legault is integrated into the story perfectly fine too. He's another one that's perfectly integrated.
Oh, absolutely.
Because like he's like when you come to the map, he's like, I'm gonna steal all their shit and I'm leaving. So you like have someone in your party who is like just like he was like the Hurricane or whatever. Like he was like one of their top guys and he's just like dipping. Yeah. It's like it's different now. So you have like, a lot of like in universe and like stuff you would just see while you're playing the game super casually. You get like a lot of evidence for. And just like stuff to work with to like build up your perception of the Black Fang. There's also like a village or whatever where they're like, if I'm giving you this, but it's like I'm portraying the Black Fang if I'm doing this, but I'm still gonna give you this. Like you see it everywhere basically about like how different it is. So it's like it's morally gray or whatever. Like being manipulated by Nurgle is interesting.
The characters like Legault, Lloyd, Linus, like they really sell it.
Yeah, definitely.
Like they make it feel like. They really did a good job with it. Like I love the Reed brothers. I love like just the whole prospect of like the found family aspects of it too, which ties into Nino again. I think it's just really done. Everything about the Black Fang I think is done really well. Except Brendan Reed is a simp, but like I get what they were going for there. I get it. I do think everything about the Black Fang is just very compelling. Very compelling. I really like it. It's nice.
No, it definitely is. I can't think of like anything that would be better than it. Like, what would be better than like, the Grimleal? Those who slither in the dark.
No.
Like, who is better than the Black Fang? Honestly,
dude, fuck
Black
those
Fang's
who
iconic.
piss in the park. Fuck those who shit in the park. Like, fuck that. Fuck them.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything. The Black Fang is like super iconic, and everyone loves Lloyd and Linus. It's just it makes sense. I can't hate. It's like I hate when people can't give FE7 anything. They have to shit on everything about it. And it's like it just did do some of the best things in the series though. I feel like the Black Fang is like probably some of the best villains in the series. I feel like the character interactions in the story are some of the best in the series. I feel like
absolutely.
Yeah, so I definitely don't know why people can't give FE7 anything. So they can't concede anything. It's like people say I shouldn't engage, but I concede so much stuff about engage. It's just like insane to me.
Yeah, one of my favorite points about engage, not 3 houses. Not real.
You can't concede anything about 3 houses either?
Okay, I'll concede something about 3 houses. I do like Edelgard.
That's the thing you'll concede. Yeah, the comments on this are gonna be funny.
Next point. Let's finally fucking talk about it. All right, let's get the lords out of the way. I'm gonna give my personal favorite ships for every lord and explain and talk about that a little bit more. I mean, we talked about this. shipping. Oh my god. But let's talk about we talked about it a little bit at the beginning of the video, how like the character relationships at FE7 for the first time felt like more like the realest they've ever felt in the series.
Yeah.
Because of like how personalized their interactions felt and how good the interactions felt. One example of that, Eliwood and Ninian, genuinely to this day, without any sort of bias, any sort of headcanons, any sort of whatever the fuck. I mean, there's technically one controversial ship that I do like more than it, and you already know what it is, I think. We'll get to that whenever we talk about Radiant Dawn. But aside from that, aside from mixed spankies, I love fucking Eliwood and Ninian. It is like the best written main lord romance ever, and it was the first one that actually felt like properly built up in the story. I mean, let's run it down. Martha Cheetah, they're cute. I like them, but at the end of the day, a lot of it's left to subtext. Almond Celica and Gaiden, at least. I mean, it was all right. It was all right. I guess.
All right. Overrated as fuck.
It was there. It was like overrated as fucking Gaiden. It was just there. Like, it was whatever. Then we get to Sigurd and Deirdre, which is like, in concept, really good. I like the narrative points of it, but like, it's just, I mean, in terms of their interactions, it's just whatever. You know, a lot of like headcanoning.
Oh god, and here we come to Thracia. 5-minute rant.
Headcanoning. Oh god, headcanoning and whatnot. We'll get there, okay? Headcanoning and whatnot. It's all right, but it's just, you know, it's I'm an FE4 like fanatic, and I'll be the first to admit Sigurd and Deirdre isn't the greatest. It's just there. It's okay. It's fine.
It definitely gives off the vibes. I love my wife, and that's the end of it.
That's about it. I mean, that's fine. But Eliwood and Ninian does it better. I'm just saying, Eliwood and Ninian is a better Sigurd Deirdre, but I'll get to why that is the case later. And then we have FE5, and you know how I feel about FE5. Weak Nana is... I'm not going to be here the whole fucking time. All right, we'll save this for the Thracia video. But point is, I think it's mid, and I think it's... I don't like what it did, how Thracia wrote Nana in general, but that's a whole different thing. I just don't like that ship. At least how it's portrayed in Thracia. It's fine in FE4. Thracia, I do not like it. Like, I don't care for it. It's very whatever, not properly built up through the game at all. But then we go to FE6. We can talk about FE6. I mean, Roy Lolina is supposed to be there, and Roy Lolina actually have stuff going for it. But a lot of that is because of FE7, and that is another thing. I know I keep fucking saying, "Oh, we'll talk about it later," but like that's another thing. FE6 via FE7, like, but the connection between those games is another thing I want to talk about. But I'm gonna get there later. But then we get to FE7, right? Eliwood and Ninian, first like properly cooked main lord romance in the series. At least in my opinion, they have tons of interactions in the main story. They have a support chain that's really cute. And like there's some narrative points to their relationship too. Like it's low-key kind of angsty, like in some points.
Oh,
because, I mean, like, you
definitely, literally like fucking kills her, so.
Yeah, he literally kills her, and like that's fucking impactful. You have like Ninian's whole like she feels guilty about Eliwood's dad being dead. Like it feels like she feels like it's her fault, and like there's just tons of like cool angsty points about it, right? Like, but even then, like because it has wholesomeness too. I mean, we have Eliwood the Rizzler too. I mean, he's dropping fucking spitting lines at her, spitting game at Ninian. Like it's like good though. Like it's good. It totally gives me like
definitely has like the most. I would say he has like the most riz of any like Fire Emblem Lord. Definitely, he was definitely like putting on moves like pretty much like right after his dad died. He was like putting on the moves, putting the comforting shoulder about his own dad dying. It's
like he's so selfless. Like, but that's not to say Eliwood's like a flawless character. He makes mistakes, and he makes plenty of them. And like the biggest point of his character is that
did he make? Actually?
Just in general, he gets in over his head a lot. And
I don't remember that. When did he get over his head?
Just the whole journey. You know, like all that shit that they did. Technically, they didn't have to do. But he like
what? What is his point?
I'm saying like okay, like I'm saying like so basically that's the whole point of Eliwood's character is that he starts the game as. Let me break it down for you this way, I guess. He starts the game as basically just he's not really the most experienced out there, right? You know, he has to come of age like Hector does, you know, like that's a big theme of FE7, coming of age, like, you know, picking up like the torch when like your family passes away. Like, you have that with Uther, and you have that with what's his fucking name, Albert, right?
Yeah.
And you see, so Eliwood and Hector are basically at the game. Like, it kind of reminds me of SpongeBob and Patrick going on like their journey in like the SpongeBob movie. Like they're just two kids getting in over their head. And they go on this whole like world-ending journey, and throughout it,
I wouldn't say it's like a character flaw. I feel like Uther does like basically say, you guys have to do this. So it's not like them just like going out and doing something because we're like a bunch of like arrogant kids who think we can do everything. It's like more like they just took responsibility that was given to them by the leader of the league. So I don't know, because they didn't want like the militaries to be moving around. So they're like, yeah, you guys deal with it.
Well, Eliwood's naive is what I should say.
That you just thought like that his father would live? Is that being naive?
No, I'm just saying like he's very trusting of people. And it bites him in the ass a couple times.
When?
Eric.
Oh my god. I feel like that doesn't count. I feel like they kind of caught on to Eric during the conversation.
Doesn't count. Alright, that's fair.
Because they're like, so you're being too nice. What's going on here? And then he was like, what's up with Laos? I hear they're preparing for war. Someone says that. I forget who says it, but yeah.
Oh, I guess, okay, alright. I guess Eliwood doesn't have that many flaws, but...
Exactly. He's like a little goody two-shoes, but I still like him.
I mean, I get it. A character doesn't need to have, like, blatant flaws to be good, though. That's a thing, Because the thing about Eliwood that makes him a good character is that, like, everyone, like, is that he has good interactions with everyone else.
Yeah, I like his relationship with Hector. That definitely, like, carries him. His relationship with Ninian is also, like, pretty good for the people who like lovey-dovey stuff, so... And that's good.
And I do like it because it's mixed in with angst.
Sakura,
like,
Shiro,
I like
enjoyer here.
It works. I'm a Sakura, Shiro, enjoyer. I mean, you'd also like it. You literally also like it.
Yeah, I do like angst. But
you literally have said on record that Sakura and Shiro is your favorite out of the fucking Stay Night, like, routes.
The other options are terrible, though.
Mid.
Like,
it's like,
I love Artoria, but that romance sounds like whatever.
It's like, would you rather have an actual good romance or like two mid-ass ones?
Like, I don't know, like, oh my god, I wish I was Shiro. I wish I was getting groomed by a 15-year-old girl. Like, I don't know. It's just like whatever.
I wish I would could date waifu core Rin Toe Sucker. So totally.
She's so cute whenever she's being mean. It's so cute.
I don't agree with that. I don't like that. I don't like it.
I feel like she's I think in the VN it's better written, but in Unlimited Blade Works, whenever she's like
the anime version, oh yeah.
Whenever she's supposed to be like cute, it just comes off as her being an asshole, and it's just like, what the hell. But this is not about fate. This is not about fate.
This is not about fate, but yeah, I mean, yeah, Eliwood and Ninian, like, really well cooked relationship. We love it.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then like it's also just canonical that Ninian has like a crush or is quote unquote in love with Eliwood. It's just canonical because they mention it so much in the story. And you can't like really get around it no matter who you pair him with. So
yeah, but then there's some fuckers who like Eliwood Fiora, which I don't. I mean, not to disrespect, because I'm friends with one of those people, but I don't necessarily understand how you can see Eliwood and Ninian and then be like,
I think they're just incest enjoyers, really.
Whoa!
They have to be. What would be the appeal other than Lilina and Roy cousin incest?
Being cousins.
What would be the appeal? No, I'm serious. What's the appeal of Fiora and Eliwood other than the ha incest? What is the appeal?
Apparently they have good interactions with each other.
No,
I've read them. I think their supports are very mid.
The whole thing is just that, I let everyone die. It's my fault. And then, Eliwood is just like, being nice to her. Oh my god, you're like the first person who's like treating me like a person instead of like a mercenary. Oh my god. And that's like the whole support. It's like, okay.
I like Kent and Fiora.
Yeah, it's funny, I think. I think they make out in their ace support or something. I guess it's
I
fun.
just think it's a nice, very real interaction. You know, very real set of interactions.
Yeah, I also want to
I
find someone I can
appreciate
just
that.
hate on everyone with. That's the dream. But yeah.
It's fun. I mean, kind of. It's like it's fun. You know, it's fun. It's neat. And like it feels like it genuinely does feel like I mean like they feel like they have a connection there, and I like it. So you know, it's neat. It's neat. It's not like the best support ever, but like it's good.
Yeah, it's like definitely like funny, I guess, because just like two people who are like prudes hooking up in their ace support.
It's like basically like it's like two co-workers venting to each other, and then they fucking, you know, and then they get together.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of neat. I like it for what it is.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But not moving on from that, Hector. We talked about it a little bit already, but we already like Hector and Farida.
Yeah, that one is the best one.
That one's the best one. I don't even want to talk about the other two options, like Lyn, Florina.
Yeah, like
Farina,
Lyn and
though.
Hector give off such like friend vibes, and I think like LYNECTOR is popular just because, well, one, they're two lords, but then also it's because like I think people, they like a relationship dynamic where the people feel like friends, and it's like, no, I want them to feel romantic, not like friends. They just come off like too chummy, like they're just best friends or whatever. Not even best friends, just like normal friends.
And I mean, I get it, like to some degree. I mean, like I get it to some degree. Like,
I mean, half of the
like,
fandom likes Krabben, so I mean, makes sense, but.
I mean, I get it to some degree. Obviously, like whoever I mean, if you're in a relationship, whoever you're in a relationship with should feel like a friend to some degree. Obviously, there's differences there, but like I get it to some degree, obviously. But at the same time, Lyn and Hector just don't do it for me. I don't really feel like.
No, but like, yeah, they should be like quote unquote your best friend, but also it's like there should be like some romantic chemistry there. It shouldn't just be like friendly. LYNECTOR
They just bicker too
overly
much.
friendly. No, people love bickering romances. People love those. But I just mean they're.
Well, I don't think they do it well. I don't think Lyn and Hector do it well.
I am like Rumiko Takahashi's biggest hater. I don't like bickering romances like that. I find them like super obnoxious when the girl just fucking nags with the dude the entire time. That's like their whole dynamic.
Oh, so that's why you don't like Rin. Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. I don't like bickering romances. It's just like so like miserable. It's like, how can you like be happy watching this? It's just miserable. Like, this will make me shoot my brains out if I was like
mad. It makes me mad.
Like,
whenever I see Rin Osaka fucking shitting on Shiro 24/7, it makes me mad. I want to beat her up, especially with Wendy Lee as her voice actress. Genuinely, like such an annoying choice. Like, I'm not trying to take shots at Wendy Lee.
Wendy Lee voices Rin? Are you serious?
Or not Wendy. Yeah, I think it is. No, it's not Wendy Lee. It's it's Tiki's voice actress.
Oh, Melalee.
Melalee. Yeah,
oh, I can hear it. I was about to say, what? Wendy Lee has range?
Wendy Lee is annoying as fuck, though.
She definitely is. Yeah.
I don't like Resident.
I didn't want to say it in my video, but they need to change the voice actors for the cast of the seven.
Lyn needs to change for fucking sure.
Get Bryce Papenbrook the fuck out of Raven and Corel as well. Just get them out. He doesn't need to voice either of them. Like, they need to overhaul the entire voice cast like they did with Persona 3. Just overhaul it. I don't care if
I like Brianna Knickerbocker as Ninian.
She can stay, I guess. She's fine. But a lot of them gotta go. They all have to go.
Kaiji Tang as Lloyd, I like.
Yeah, Kaiji Tang is fine. But they can't just get rid of some of them because then people will get mad and Wendy Lee will bitch about it on the internet about how everyone hates her.
Like she did with Bleach.
So you have to just I will take the good with the bad out. So they can replace Kaiji Tang as well, even though I like him a lot. It's just it's just like,
nah, they should keep the good ones. I don't give a fuck.
They have like Persona 3. They had to do with Persona 3. They had to get rid
but
of
they kept Elizabeth.
They kept Elizabeth? Okay. Was that the only one they kept?
Yeah, they kept I think a couple of them.
Oh, they did? Oh, that's interesting. But yeah.
All the party members were changed, but yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. But yeah. LYNECTOR. Bad. And then the other thing about LYNECTOR that's bad is that it like the ending for LYNECTOR is like terrible for Lyn. That's
No,
like the
it's
reason why I don't
terrible.
understand how you can ship it. Like whoever you ship Lyn with, they should go back to Sacae with her. So like the only real options are like Florina and Kent. Those are like the only real options. The other ones all suck.
Personally, I am a Lyn Florina fan. That is this is finally our chance to talk about Lyn, I guess. But like Lyn, I'm a big fan of Lyn Florina. They were like the original lesbians in the Fire Emblem series for me. Like I like them. I think they're neat. I think they're really cute. It's like Florina's only support chain that doesn't make me mad.
That's the only one. I thought you liked
No,
Farina. It's not funny when she bullies her sister? What?
No. Like, it's the only Florina support chain that doesn't make me mad, and I think that says something.
What about the Ninian and Florina one? I don't think I've read that one.
I've never read it. Oh, see, this is what we were talking about earlier. You can't say that because you haven't read our supports.
I was just
Shut
curious
the fuck
if it was
up.
literally every one that you didn't like, because I've never read that one. So I thought maybe you read it.
I've read, like, most of them. Across my many playthroughs of FE7 over the years.
Let me see if I can, because Florina has like a lot of supports. I guess she has like she has one with Lyn. She would have one with Fiora and Farina, and then Hector. She has one with Ninian. Who else does she have support with?
Me.
Okay.
Mark, you know, she supports Mark.
You're one of those weird self-shipper guys.
No, I'm not. Because I don't do Mark X Lyn, those weirdos. Alright, I do Lyn X Florina. If you're a Mark X Lyn fan watching this, my apologies. I just think you're a little bit weird.
How is it any different than any other Avatar ship, though? Like, that's basically what Krabben
Well,
is.
Mark doesn't talk. He doesn't say a fucking word.
Okay,
He barely exists.
But there's so many Demigod fans and Demilith. That's
yeah, but Byleth exists more than Mark does. Byleth actually has a portrait, is a unit in the game.
Okay.
Byleth is a unit in the game with
that's
a portrait.
That's not why people ship like Demilith though, and Adolith, whatever the fuck ship name is. That's not literally.
Okay, but what about Robin?
Robin? Well, Robin's an actual character, but most people use it as a shirt because they want to fuck Crom. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, Robin's a character, Chris is a character, Alir's a character, Corrin's a character as well. Mark and Byleth
people don't ship Corrin. No, Corrin is similar thing to Mark in my opinion. No one ships it because like, oh, they have such good dynamics with Corrin. It's because you want to fuck the character. That's why you would ship
really
that.
A good character.
It's the
Corrin's
same thing
not
as
really a character.
Edolith.
Like, I guess that's true. Like Chris, Alir, and Robin are characters, but like the other ones maybe aren't.
Honestly, yeah. I can agree with that.
Okay.
I think like Alier could potentially have chemistry with a character. Corrin, I don't think so.
I can see that. I can get that argument. Yeah, I can see people saying that because Alir's supports are different enough. Like they're all like different.
Yeah.
Like, they act differently around in certain situations. Like I get it. Alir actually has like a main story like presence that is like real. So like.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah. So personally, I'm still waiting on a duo of Alir and Vale because I love the sister dynamic or brother sister, whatever one you want to do between them.
Speaking of self shippers, I'm still waiting for my Jacob and Corrin duo and Faye. Where is it?
Oh, I love Jacob actually, but that's aside from the point. It's aside from the point. Fuck, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So yeah, Lyn. Let's talk about Lyn now. Let's finally talk about Lyn. I know you have a lot of things to say about Lyn because you made a video about Lyn and Claude. I agree with most of what you said. Let's get this out of the way. I think Lyn is a very, depending on who you ask. I mean, obviously Lyn has her own community of simps, and to some degree, I'm one of them. To some degree, I am one of them. I do really like Lyn.
Oh God.
I mean, first and foremost, I mean, obviously. I mean, this goes for a lot of the characters in FE7. Wada Sachiko fucking cooked when they made the character designs for FE7. All of them look great. Lyn's design is a big part of why she's so popular to this day, but not for bad reason, honestly. The character artworks in that game are great.
Okay.
Like we love Wada Sachiko.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
No, absolutely. They cooked on that game. They cooked. Um, and but yeah, I really like Lyn. I think she is overly hated to some degree, obviously,
It's
because she's
because of Fire
super
Emblem
popular.
Heroes. It's because of Fire Emblem Heroes.
Yeah,
Like,
they gave Wendy Lee that stupid annoying voice for fucking Lyn.
yeah, I have to go into my villain origin story because you went into your villain origin story. So, like, literally, so what happened was when Tribe Claude came out, and I made a rant video about when Tribe Claude, because I thought he was, like, super unhealthy for the game and just fucking stupid. So I made a video
Yeah.
about that. And then in it, I randomly talked about how Lyn is a better biracial character than Claude is. And then I posted it on Twitter because I don't have a lot of followers, so I didn't expect anyone to see it. And it got like so many views, and so many people were like telling me to kill myself and shit. And I was like, what? But I'm just correct though. It's like the three houses, like like the slobbing on the knob is like insane in the community at this point, because I just don't even understand how you can like Claude and then think that he's better written than Lyn. I have no idea how you can even say that, because I like Claude, but they fucked him over so bad in Three Houses. I have no idea how you can be like, yeah, Claude got like so much development. He got so much more development than Lyn. When the whole point of Claude is that they don't tell you anything, because they think it's cool that you don't know anything about him. How can he be better developed? It makes no sense. It's like, what?
Yeah.
It's insane.
Literally, like, this is a whole other problem. I think, like, a lot of people, like, they claim, like, Three Houses as this awesome, like, lore build, like, world building, and, like, all the different races are cool in Three Houses, but, like, Three Houses handles them all like dog water. But I feel like that's, eventually when we talk about Three Houses, oh boy, oh, I'm gonna have to do another playthrough of that game.
Coming in 2025 or 2026, and I actually play the other routes. But
I'll play another run of Three Houses just so that you're not suffering alone.
Yeah, I'm trying to do what do you call it? A Black Eagles one, because I need to see how awful Petra is in that route.
Oh, but bro. Oh,
I have to see for myself how they ruin all the characters in that route. But
I'll do Golden Deer because I haven't done it yet, but I've done the other I've done like the other two. So
yeah, it's like, but yeah, like Lyn's like honestly pretty well written, because the thing about Lyn is that you understand what she's about. Okay, so you know that she's like someone from Sacae. She lost both her parents, and then she finds out that she still has family left in the world, and that's her main motivation, is like her family. That's like the whole thing about her. So, and like her friends. Those are like the things that are important to her. And I feel like in this context is actually like good. It doesn't feel like, you know, anime bullshit, friendship powers, Nakama, the power of family. It doesn't really feel like that. I feel like it's like actually pretty well done, and it makes sense. It's sympathetic because she doesn't have anyone left except for Hassan, so it makes sense why she cares about this. Especially like the way that she would like imagine like nomads would grow up. It's like a lot about community, and she's been looking by herself for like, I don't know, a couple months or something. So it makes sense like why it actually makes sense to me. And then
no, it does. It absolutely does.
So it's like kind of nice when you have Linus' Legion when she's getting this group of people that are looking out for her and stuff like that, and people to interact with, because she literally just was like by herself on the plains, because the people who survived just like left the Lorca tribe, so they just like left and went somewhere else. So yeah, it's
absolutely
like that all definitely makes sense. And you also have like her encountering racism. You actually see that, unlike with Claude, so you see it, and it's like handled pretty well. She has a lot of bark to her, a lot of bite to her too. So she's like, well,
yeah,
fuck
she's a
you.
yapper. She's a little bit of a yapper.
She's like, I don't need your help. You're not gonna like disgrace my homeland and like say I'm a mongrel and shit. I'm gonna go find help elsewhere.
Yeah, I loved that scene in Lyn mode. She's a really great character in Lyn mode, and yeah, she doesn't do much like after Lyn mode, but she's still there. I mean, I like her as part of the dynamic. I think someone's made a video about this before, about how like, at least in the US version of the game, where they aged her up, she's kind of like the oldest of the trio, and she's gone through like her development. It makes her feel like, you know, like kind of like the beacon of support for the other two in some points. because you know she's like more mature, emotionally mature by that point in the game.
I feel like Eliwood is the most mature out of them, though. I feel
Yeah.
like Lyn and Hector argue too much for me to be like she's mature. And I feel like especially like when well it was like Lyn and Eliwood who talked down Hector when he was fuming about Layla and stuff. So yeah, he's like definitely the most immature, but I feel like Ellie was most mature out of them. But I will respect that opinion. I'll respect that opinion that like Lyn is the oldest and stuff. So
like I do like that I like the dynamic of her being the oldest of the three. I do think that's interesting.
Yeah. I feel like Eliwood and Lyn didn't have like much of a dynamic though. I definitely felt like it was like
No, they didn't.
Hector and Lyn fucking around, and then it was like Hector and Eliwood fucking around. Hector and Lyn fucking around. But then I feel like Eliwood and Lyn don't have really like much to do besides out of their support, which sucks because of the ending. I think the actual like support itself is cute, but the ending sucks, so it sucks.
Yeah. Eliwood and Lyn don't really have many interactions with each other, which is another thing that's kind of unfortunate about Lyn. I feel like that's honestly the thing. Like now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like that's the problem with Lyn. Like the one thing that makes her feel a little bit like obviously yeah, she doesn't really do much in the story. Giving her a fucking like Sacae trial would help with that one hand, and then actually letting her interact with Eliwood more would help with that on another.
It's weird because she knows Eliwood first, and because like he helps her out in Lyn mode, but they don't go anywhere with that besides Lyn being like, I'm gonna help you out because you're my friend. That's like that's it. That's all it happens. Like I don't want you to lose your father, so I'm gonna help you out. And it's like that's cool, it makes sense, but it's boring. It's boring. So
But I think she's a perfectly fine character. Like in part one, she's a developed character by like the end of her part. That's the thing.
She definitely is a developed character. Then her supports like all build off of that thing with her, you know, wanting to like be there for Hassan, but still like trying to be herself. So you see the eternal struggle with all of her supports, and then you see what the game's opinions of it is on, that she just be herself instead of trying to be something that isn't herself for her granddad. And I think that's super interesting and cool. Like that's like super good. It's like an actual like thing that a lot of like mixed people go through, I feel like. So it's like interesting. Yeah. I feel like Claude is such a like I don't know, he's slick unrelatable, to be honest. For his struggles.
Flop it. He flops it.
So but I don't know why people hate Lyn when she's like literally pretty relatable, and it's like really real. It's just that people shit on it because like she's like not that important because you know it's about Elbert's dad and it's about Uther. And
like who cares? Fucking cares. A lot of people fucking love all these other characters in the other Fire Emblem games who don't really do much. Like Lyn's supposed to Lyn's a lord, but she doesn't feel like a lord. Who cares? Like who cares if she doesn't have the spotlight 24/7? She's a developed character, and I like her as a character in her own right. I don't hold it against her that the writers didn't give her much development or like super like big stuff to do in the story in the second like the back like 2/3 of the game, because she's already a developed character. She went through her growth. She shows up every now and then. She still says stuff, and I mean she does stuff much. She does contribute to the story.
Yeah, she followed footprints in the forest. No one else could have done that.
No, she had like but she had the whole thing with just in general with like Yuhai, like that's neat.
Yeah, that's cool.
Right?
Yeah, I like Uhai. I think he's honestly maybe it's because my FE7 bias, but I just do think like the random generic bosses, I like them. They have a lot of personality.
No, I agree. I think the FE7 bosses are like random enough, but they also have a little bit of personality to them.
No, for sure. I don't know if it's my bias, but I feel like the other games I played, most of them, like, they don't have, like, a lot of things about them that you can, like, be, like, I could see, like, FE7 bosses, like, becoming memes. Even though Bad the Beast is an annoying meme at this point, I can see it. The other ones are, like, some of the other games, like Geb and stuff, I don't see how that's a meme. I don't see how that's, like, a thing, to be honest, but...
Yeah.
They have a lot of charm. Like I think I can name a lot of them by name, and that's what I'm saying. It might just be biased, but I feel like.
I made a meme about Karjiga. Remember Karjiga?
Which map is that?
He's the dorkiest map boss.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Korjiga.
The one.
I made a meme about him.
What was the meme? What is there to say about it?
It was just, I thought his portrait was funny. So I made a meme about it.
Yeah, that was like the game where I was like, I'm gonna make a tier list of like all the FE7 bosses, which ones all at one Fae, because they like do grand hero battles and stuff. I can't like say maybe Echo's bosses also have a lot of like personality to where I'll be like, oh, I can see this one being a Fae. That would be cool. Like you have Slade, Rapist.
Yeah, Slade, my goat.
You have Slade, you have Grief, Barth, if you like Barth and Garth and stuff. I don't know.
No,
I remember
he's got
most of them.
personality.
I don't want to say in Fae to say it's boring, but he exists.
I want what's their face? I think yeah, those are a couple of unique bosses. What else? Who else was there? There was like what's their fucking name? Okay, I just remember the Desert Stronghold Wolf. Like I remember him because he was just annoying. I remember the first time I played that game, I sucked ass, and I like fucking raged on the Desert Fortress. But I like clear it easily now. Like back in the day, I was like I hated him because I like that map gave me so much trouble when I sucked at Fire Emblem.
Oh wait, yeah. And you have like Nui Baba and stuff like that. Nui
Baba, yeah.
Nui Baba's not even like some like main guy like Jeddah or anything, but yeah, like personality shows up. Like yeah, they're memorable basically. I feel like maybe not to the same degree, but I feel like FE7, some of the random bosses are kind of memorable. Like Uhai is pretty memorable, I would say. Lloyd and Linus aren't really random bosses, but yeah, other memorable bosses. Fergus is a pretty memorable boss for me at least. Let me see. Kishuna, I guess he's not random, but I mean he could kind of feel random. Basically.
Most of the bosses are memorable in FE7. Like I can name them.
Yeah, pretty much. You have Bada. I remember Glass. For some reason, I just remember Glass. Maybe because his name is fucking Glass. Yeah. I don't know. I have a bias. I'll be honest, but I do just think they're just genuinely just like pretty memorable. So Vida is recruitable, but I would say she's memorable on that chapter because she has crazy stats. You don't have to interact with her, but I think one time I misplayed and I aggroed her and had to kill her. It was kind of funny, but
yeah.
Brave Bow will sweep. Brave Bow will sweep.
What else do we got? What fucking were we? Oh yeah, we were talking about the bosses, and then we were talking about Lyn, but I think like we said everything about Lyn at this point.
Yeah, I think we did too.
I think she's just overhated because people think she has to be more important in the last part of the game than she is, and I don't think she does. I really don't think she does.
Think it would be nice, but like literally, Hector also doesn't get a super ton besides supporting Eliwood and Eliwood mode. I guess like people maybe what they would have wanted is if you just followed Lyn for 30 chapters maybe, and then they wouldn't complain about it. But that would feel weird. The problem. That would feel weird.
That would be so weird.
It would be really weird. Yeah.
It just wouldn't work.
Yeah, because the thing like in the last half of the game isn't really about her. She just shows up because she was a tutorial person. They're like, yeah, we gotta get Caitlyn in trouble in a really contrived way. Let's put Caitlyn in trouble so we can recruit Lyn again. And that was like the whole thing. So for us to like follow Lyn when she was introduced into the story in a contrived way, it would at least need a major rewrite to where she has personal stakes in the last half of the game, which might also be what people want also. But yeah, I can't say I thought Lyn was that shafted when at least she got 10 chapters to herself. So
No, absolutely. She got 10 chapters to herself to be a character and develop and have an arc that's built on in her supports.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't say I'm that
you're hypocritical. You hate supports, but you think they're good for Lyn. Yeah, fucking yes, I do. Okay.
I mean, Lyn supports are easy to get though.
No,
they all have good growths basically. The Wrath one is bad or whatever, but it has good growths. The Eliwood one and Hector ones have good growths. The
you don't like the Wrath support?
It's okay. I saw people hate it, but I don't have super strong feelings about it. The supports I have strong feelings about in that game are not Lyn Wrath, I'll be honest.
Fair.
It's like, yeah, I get the point. It's like, Lyn is like being like too, dependent on him or something. And like, basically, Wrath just does not give her anything because he's like super quiet. People are like, this is like boring. It's just like Lyn just, being like super awkward because this guy won't fucking talk to her. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I get it. But I don't know. I can't say I hate it. I can't say I hate it. I'm not gonna pretend to be mad about it. So
I'm not gonna make up something out of nothing to get mad about when you're not really mad about it.
Yeah, basically.
Well, you're better than most people on Twitter.
Let's see. I do like Wrath though. I think his Will support is cute. I think it's cute that Will is just so stupid that he's like the only one who can make Wrath laugh, basically. He's like the only one who entertains Wrath. I think it's cute. I don't ship him or anything.
I love stupid people.
Yeah, Will is like my idiot. I love him so much.
Then there's what is there? I mean, I guess that's like, I mean, we've talked about Lyn. That was like another big thing. I don't know character-wise what else there's to talk about, but I do got one more thing. But I do got another thing. I mean, we got the FE6-7 connections. But before I do that, I want to just get into this real quick. I mean, I've talked about it a little bit, but man, and like you're gonna hear this here because I fucking like, you know, made some fucking mock-ups for music here, but I love the FE7 soundtrack. Unironically, love it. Like, it's just so like comfy. I don't know what it is, but like a lot of the melodies in it are just so satisfying. I love it. The sound, GBA sound font at its best. Unironically, I just love it. I love how it sounds. It's just great, and like I can. It's so memorable too. I remember so many of the songs.
Oh my god. It's like, I think the soundtrack, when I was like playing it recently, I was like singing along to it and stuff, but I don't know. It's not like one of my most memorable Fire Emblem OSTs, personally. It's like, I like some of the songs in it though. It's like,
I love like the first enemy phase theme. Like that shit's good.
Enemy phase music? Who are you?
The first
like
one.
The enemy phase music.
I love the enemy phase music. I also love the one that plays on like the Gaiden chapters. The one that plays like on the Damien map. That one, I love that enemy phase theme. The attack theme's obviously great. The map themes, most of them are great. Lyn's theme is mid, but like I like all the other map themes, like Distant Travels, Companions, both goated. I love the end game map theme is like peak fiction. And then it's got some good boss themes too. I mean, they Softly with Grace, my goat. You know, and then like a lot of like just the story themes are really good. Like Ninian's theme is iconic. Athos's theme is just very beautiful. I love it. Just a lot of nice stuff there. Just very like early 2000s-esque soundtrack.
Early 2000s-esque soundtrack.
Yeah, it's just really good. I mean, you wouldn't get it, but like,
I wouldn't. I'm not a music autist, but yeah, it's definitely not one of my most memorable soundtracks. Like I do like enjoy it.
I think it's very comfy.
Yeah, I feel like the ones that I don't know. Cause I also thought, well, how would you rank Engage's soundtrack? Do you also really like that one? Cause I thought that one wasn't super memorable either.
I love certain tracks from it.
Okay.
Like I like the Solm theme.
That one is pretty memorable.
I like Vale's boss theme. Vale / Alir's boss theme. I think that's like a really good theme. I love that one. And I like the theme that plays in Illusia. I like that one. And then the map theme that plays for what's her fucking name? Lumero's map is pretty good. I like that one.
Yeah, I think I like that one in the cutscene. When I heard it for the first time, I was like, oh, they went off for this. They went off. So I thought that one was like pretty good. I think it's continued from the cutscene. I could be wrong though. But yeah, if it's that one, then I like
it is. Yeah, it continues from the cutscene too. Yeah, it does.
Yeah. It was pretty good. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I have a couple of songs downloaded for strictly editing purposes because all I do is bitch about FE7, so I have to have FE7 soundtrack on my computer. But yeah, I can't like say it's like one of my favorite soundtracks. When you like said that to me, I was like, really? FE7? But hey, I respect it. I respect it.
Hey, I mean, my favorite Fire Emblem soundtrack is probably Shadow Dragon DS. But
wow, a true contrarian.
It's great. Hold on, it sounds great. Have you you haven't listened to many of it closely, but it's great. I love Shadow Dragon DS soundtrack. I'm gonna send you shit to it. I mean, once you tell me that you finished Shadow Dragon, I'm gonna be like telling you all sorts of shit about the music in that game, and you're gonna listen to me because somebody has to. And it's going to be you.
I'm the only one that'll put up with it. Makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
But let me see. Yeah, let me see. So that's the soundtrack. Yeah, I don't know what else there is to talk about. FE7.
6 and 7 connections.
6 and 7 connections?
Yeah, this is where we're gonna get controversial here.
Was it really controversial? I feel like when I made my video, a lot of the comments agreed that it should share data. Then you have some people that said no, it would take away from the identity.
There are
FE7.
tons of fucking FE6 elitists who fucking hate 7.
How? It's like
I don't know.
The same game, but it's like
I've seen someone shit on how like 7 makes 6, like 7 makes Zephiel a worse villain. And I'm just like, bro, 7 makes Zephiel a better villain.
What? How did it ruin Zephiel? It humanizes him.
Oh yeah, he was just mad because his dad didn't like him, bro. Yeah, I'd be mad if my parents were shitters who didn't love me too. Bro, like what?
What?
It's a
what?
I can see
how people actually say that. It humanizes him.
I've seen someone say that.
It humanizes
it humanizes Zephiel, and it makes his motivations for why he became like that more believable. Like, yeah, not everyone who had fucking abusive parents are gonna be is gonna turn out like Zephiel, but I can see how someone who had abusive parents would basically lose his entire faith in humanity.
Yeah, definitely. I have never seen that opinion. People don't like the Zephiel stuff in 7. I thought it was like super good.
I've seen it, yeah. And then I've seen someone be like not liking. They don't like Lilina, or not Lilina. They don't like Eliwood X Ninian in a vacuum or whatever. Like it was really weird. They didn't. I don't get that take. They were like, oh, in concept it's neat, but like in execution it goes against their characters. And I'm like, oh, what?
What? How's it go against their characters?
How's it go against Ninian's character to like I think it's sweet how for the first time throughout the entire game at the end of the game Ninian finally does something selfish in staying with Eliwood. I think it's neat because the whole game she's like very like selfless and isn't like very passive and doesn't really act on what she wants to do, but then she finally does, and it's a nice moment.
What? The whole thing is that she has a crush on Eliwood and loves him canonically regardless of which ending you pick. How is that out of character? What?
How's that out of character for her to choose? Like, oh, she's supposed to be. That's like so selfish for Ninian. Yeah, let her be selfish for once. It's cool.
What? What?
Like, oh, Ninian being selfish is out of character. It's like, okay, sure, but like, literally, why is her staying? Like, what's so selfish about her staying with Eliwood? I mean, for one hand,
like
even if it was
selfishness, at the concept of selfishness is that it hurts someone else. You mean like she should have just like not been with the man she loves and stay with Nils, who doesn't fucking care? I'm confused.
Nils was 100% okay with it. He's like, yeah, go for it.
What? I don't know, man. I feel like this controversy.
I don't know how it's out of character.
It's made up. People don't say these things. I've never seen anyone dislike Eliwood and Ninian. Ever.
I've seen it. I've seen it on my Twitter.
The Twitter people don't exist. They're psyops. They're not real.
No, they're weird. Like they just yap and like say shit, then hope it sounds like a coherent opinion.
Dude, what? I don't even believe that you've seen this stuff, honestly.
I'll show you. I'll find it. I'll find it.
Who hates Eliwood and Ninian? What?
I think I screenshotted it before. I'd have to like look again to find that person who said it, but like I know they've said it. And like I was so confused when I saw that take. I was like, what? What are you talking about? But I think 6 and 7 being more connected is not a bad thing, and I think 7 makes 6 a better game and it makes 6 a better story. And the reason I say that And another reason I say that, 7 inherently makes me like Roy and Lolina. Part of why I like Roy and Lolina is because 7 exists. And the reason I say that is because I actually, part of the dynamic is like, oh yeah, the two best friends, their kids get together, and like I wouldn't really care about that as much if I didn't know who Eliwood and Hector were as characters.
Oh yeah,
Like that
sure.
inherently makes me care about Roy and Lolina more.
I don't see why you wouldn't like the connections between 6 and 7. I don't
get it either.
It's like, I feel like the games still have their own identity, but it would be cool if they like definitely like influence them more. Cause I mean, they are definitely just gonna give Lyn a kid in FE6, so that's gonna happen. So it is what it is.
Yeah, it's gonna be Stu.
I think they're gonna make they might give Stu a sibling or something, but like I definitely just think like they'll make another like.
That would also
Sacaean
canon
character.
Lyn and Wrath, and they don't want to do that.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. It's like, yeah, I feel like the thing that they push most is probably the Florina and Lyn thing, but like, I don't know. They can't have babies, so therefore they're going to get her with a man so that they can have a kid for Sacae route, and she can recruit. So I know people like magical surrogates, but they are going to though. In the FE6 remake, they're gonna give Lyn a kid, definitely.
They can just have Lyn show up.
They're gonna give Lyn a kid. They don't care.
You can just have Lyn show up.
Yeah,
I don't care.
I'm skeptical of that. I think they will not want to show Lyn because then it will mess with the. I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna handle Lyn because they didn't make FE6 with Lyn as a concept. They made her up later, so it's like I don't know how it's gonna work. But I don't think they'll show Lyn. I think if they show Lyn,
Sacae, like
show up in Sacae.
Yeah, like I mean that makes sense.
It's weird. I don't know. It's like confusing to me because there was that alt and Fae where they tried to soft canonize all of Eliwood's options, and they still consider Lyn an option for Eliwood. So
did they? What band
it was something like in the
you're saying the Love
conversation.
One?
It was like something in like the duo conversation between like Roy and Eliwood where he references the Lyn support in it. It was basically like the same adjectives he used to describe Lyn, the exact same ones he used to describe his wife. And I feel like there's also references to Eliwood and Ninian too. It's like they tried to soft canonize both those options. I don't know if Fiora has anything, but definitely the Lyn. There was like a reference to it for sure. And it's like, I don't know if they're going to show Lyn because then it would just deconfirm those things. So I don't know how they would do the Lyn kid, because the Lyn kid could technically be Lolina's sibling or Roy's sibling or Sue's sibling, or not
or
related to
just
them at
someone
all.
else.
Yeah, so I don't know how that would work because they aren't deconfirming it with heroes. So I don't know.
I don't know.
I have no idea, but they definitely won't make Lyn show up. They'll either just not give her anything, which also won't happen. So I think they'll find a way to give her a kid. They might just deconfirm the Hector and Eliwood ones because they're bad. And then they'll just do either Kents or Wrath as the options. I think that's what they'll do, actually. And then they'll be like, I hate lesbians, and then, yeah.
They should have Ninian and Eliwood be canon, and the reason I say that is because it would make 6's story better, because if Roy's like part dragon, that makes the narrative of him like, you know, searching for like the harmony of human and dragons against Zephiel's ideology a lot more cool. There's a lot of narrative beats there.
Yeah, I can definitely see the reasoning for that. Yeah, I can see it, honestly.
I think like it would make the story better. Like even like some of the FE6 haters or FE6 like elitists like Eliwood and Ninian, like in terms of like what it means like for Roy's position in the story in FE6. Like, oh yeah, he's part dragon. That makes him have like a more personalized stake in the conflict, and it makes it feel like more compelling.
Would he be able to transform? That would be kind of funny.
No, I mean maybe not, but
they should make him transform.
Sophia can't. But...
How much is she? Is he quarter too?
Sophia's she's like a quarter.
Yeah, because Ninian and Nils, well, I assume Nils can transform, but we never see it.
Ninian can. So.
No, wait, Nils transforms in Fate, doesn't he? Or does he not?
Yeah,
I
he
don't remember.
does.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, but they can. They're half dragons. They can transform.
Real?
Yeah.
I hate when I say real. I used to make fun of my friends for saying real question mark all the time, and now I just picked it up from them. I'm like, use fucking synthesis. Stop saying real. And now that's the only thing I say.
Well, I get it. Like. Yeah, I mean, Roy being part dragon would make it interesting. I feel like there's a lot to do with that. There's a lot of potentially cool things to do with that.
But it's like, I don't know how I feel about them canonizing things, because I still want them to share data and then change stuff based on who you pair off.
Well, I'm gonna force Eliwood and Ninian because it's good.
Maybe that could be the only one you can't change, but I feel like the other ones you should be able to change, because it will be fun.
It's like, look, like Eliwood and Ninian is like a Lyn and Uranus thing in like Thracia, where it's like, it's technically like not canon, but like you like nobody would bat an eye if you said that it was canon.
Some people do though.
Some people do, and they're weird, but like nobody like will fault you for saying, like, none of the normal people will fault you for saying it's canon.
Oh yeah, for sure. Let me see. Because I still think my idea is super cool, because it's like, I think it would be like super cool, like, if you gave like people like kids who, they can technically end up in different situations depending on who you pair them off with. I thought like Urk was a pretty good example, because you can marry him to Priscilla.
God
and
forbid.
Sarah? Question mark? I don't remember. Maybe not.
God forbid pairing anyone with fucking Priscilla, the Freudian nightmare that she is.
So you have like that pairing, then you also have the Nino pairing. So it's like Urk's kid could be in Etruria, or they could be in the orphanage in Lycia. So they could be in a lot of places.
Can we talk about that for a second?
What?
Can we talk about Priscilla for a second?
Yeah, we can talk about Priscilla. She's weird.
God, she's fucking weird.
I mean,
like,
but if
look,
Raven was your brother, would you want to smash?
Not in the context of him being my brother, but I do want to smash Raven. I do think Raven is quite attractive.
Real, I can respect that. I just think he's cool. I like him because he's cool. I don't want to smash
He
him.
looks cool, and he is one of the best units in that game, so I like him.
My Raven right now has like 12 strength. I'm very sad. Why does he have 12 strength?
Okay, well, that's just unfortunate turn of events. Raven is supposed to, especially on hard mode, Raven's an amazing
No,
unit,
Raven is amazing, but I've gotten screwed with level ups this run.
Yeah, he's great. He looks cool. He kicks ass. And I just wish he had a different voice than Bryce Papenbrook. Bryce Papenbrook does not make him sound as cool as he needs to be.
Same for Corel. They both sound super lame. I don't like it.
I don't like Bryce Papenbrook in most roles, to be honest, though. Like, I feel like he's miscast a lot.
Yeah. I feel like he was like a... Do you think he was a good Aaron Jaeger?
I wouldn't know.
Oh, you never watched AOT? Seriously? Interesting.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
No.
I thought he was okay as Aaron, to be honest. He was like a pretty good Kameda, but he just shows up in too much stuff, in my opinion.
I don't like him as the new Silver, the Hedgehog. I like the
I
old
keep
nerdy
forgetting
Silver
he's
more.
Silver.
I like the old 06 Silver more. I like 06 Silver more.
Why did they make him Silver? I forgot he was Silver.
It's so weird. And I think I like it, but I do like him as Henry. I think he's fine as Oscar from Tellius, and I do like him as Kamui in SOV. I do really like him as Kamui.
Yeah, he's okay as
Kamui. Bryce Papenbrook's Kamui performance is one of his best ones.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good. He has like some range there. It's not like his usual role. I definitely feel like Corel and Raven sound exactly the same. It'll be like so awkward if they did a remake and he did both roles and they still sounded the same. Like for Fates, when Matt Mercer was Shigure and Ryoma, they sounded different.
No, they did sound different. It's
like, I don't understand why Bryce Papenbrook sounds the same as both Corel and Raven. It's like just bad. So.
But then, my favorite performance from Bryce Papenbrook is actually, it's a funny one, but it's Nagito from Danganronpa.
Yeah, I think it's a good Kameda. I think it's good for Kameda.
I do really like him
He
as
sells
Kameda.
the crazy like super well, but
Oh, that's why I like him as Henry too. Yeah.
yeah, I feel like back in the day, like I don't know, in like the the early 2010s or mid 2010s, I feel like he was fine. I feel like it got like, I feel like I started disliking Bryce Papenbrook maybe late 2010s, 2020s. I was like,
Yeah, it was
get this
because
dude out of here.
I definitely loved him as Kamui in Echoes, but like after that, I started to like get a little bit fed up with him.
Definitely. Let me see. We're talking about Priscilla. Oh yeah, Priscilla.
I do not like him as Shiro either. In Fate.
Oh yeah, it's just like default protagonist voice is the same as Zeph Wheeler, which is why I don't like Zeph Wheeler either.
I liked Sam Riegel Shiro a lot more.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, like it's just a really generic protag voice at this point. And just give him other things to do other than being some disturbed teenager, please.
For real. No, for real.
So let me see.
Priscilla, the Freudian nightmare. All right, she's literally like, she is like, look. I know people have their different interpretations, but like, I want your thoughts on this. I don't think we've ever actually talked about this. And look, this is a safe space to talk about this shit. This Fire Emblem, like this shit exists in Fire Emblem games. Thank you, Kaga. Thank you, Kaga Sensei, for your incest kink. But now we're stuck with it because of Kaga. But well, example one, I do think Priscilla is a little bit on the Alabama side of things. That's how I always read into their supports. Like, she gave me those weird ass vibes, especially when you consider her Lucius ones too.
I feel like, yeah, I was gonna say, I was thinking like her Raven ones is like, I won't say harmless, but it's not as bad. I think it gets weird when she starts getting like jealous of Lucius and stuff.
I think, yeah, no, her Raven supports are really weird when in context, when contextualizing them with her Lucius ones.
Definitely. Honestly,
yeah,
a lot of the girls in this game have weird shit with their brothers. Not a lot, but I'm thinking of like the Raven and Rebecca support, where I don't know, like the whole point is that Raven is like a brotherly figure to Rebecca, but she definitely is just like, Raven, he's so hot, I want to like cook for him and stuff. That's like the context of the C support and everything. And it's like,
yeah,
it's like, what is going on? I'm like, what's happening?
And then
like all these like weird trauma issues. I'm like, what is happening right now? Abandonment issues, I guess. Yeah.
Carla and Karel are an interesting case.
Yeah, I hate that because Carla has been retconned by heroes into a brocon when she wasn't like that in 7.
No, she wasn't. She was actually one of the more interesting cases. It was interesting how her relationship with Karel was portrayed in FE7. It was interesting. They had something interesting with it. They weren't like, obviously, like a lot of her motivation, like a lot of her, like Karel was relevant to her character for sure.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like the whole point was that they were beefing, like, kinda, right? Like they were like low key.
I think the thing was that like she hated her brother or whatever for what he did, but she still like loved him and missed him, and she wanted to make up.
She wanted to like bring him back, kind of.
Yeah, she wanted to like make up and stuff like that, and she didn't like want to like really kill him or anything like that, because I think like he wants to like kill her because she thinks, but he was like waiting for her to like get ready or something. I don't know. Corolla's like, he's so polite. He's so polite, to be honest. Like he just wants to fight and kill people, honestly. But yeah. But Heroes is like pairing her up with incest mommy Freya, and just like, yeah, like definitely just wants to like.
They're talking about weird like brother shit. Like it's weird.
It's just like, what?
Making her into Lakeith's key from fucking FE4.
Exactly. It's just like, why did you think to pair up like an actual like brocon with Carla? That makes no sense. It's just like, Carla isn't like a brocon. She has like a, there's something there other than, oh my brother, he's like so hot, like I need him.
No,
I need him in my life.
That's not how she feels.
Exactly.
That's not how she feels.
It's like, it's not weird at all. I don't know, man. book 4 is like so weird. I don't even know what was going on. There's like 2 weird incest things in it because Alphonse and Sharena, something. It's not like actually Alphonse, but you don't know that at the time. So to you, it's like some weird incest stuff, and it's like what? It's like it's supposed to be Kieran, but he looks like Alphonse, and it's like okay. It was like all a dream.
Yeah.
It was all a dream. I don't know. This is stupid. But yeah, it's like insane. Yeah. And then what other brother shit is there in 7? There's definitely more brother shit.
I mean,
is it just Rebecca and Dart? Is it just that one?
Rebecca and Dart is kind of weird. They're kind of funky.
I mean, yeah, I think it's
There's not really anything like incestuous about them.
It's not. It's nothing incestuous. Definitely not incestuous. But I do think like the abandonment issues thing with like 7 and like brothers is like an obsession. They do it with like 3 different characters. They do it with like Carla, and well, Nino has abandonment issues, but not with her brother. They do it with Priscilla, and they do it with Rebecca. It's like so much. But I guess like family is like I guess family is like a big theme in 7, like family and stuff like that. So it makes sense, but
I can't handle it. There's way too many. There's way too much.
Yeah, it's just like you could at least experiment with the family dynamics a little bit more, not just brother leaves me and I get a complex about it and wanna like fuck my brother. I don't know. That's weird.
That's what a lot of them are kind of like.
Like, it's just like, do something else. Do something else, please. But yeah.
Yeah, get a little bit like creative with it. I don't know.
Maybe Priscilla has good supports. I haven't read her Heath one. Her Sane one is like, I don't know. It's whatever. It's just Sane simping for a girl. It's pretty. It's about that.
I've read like all of like the big whammy ones. So, for Priscilla. I just wanted to know what your opinion on like her like on if you thought she was a little incesty.
Oh no, she definitely is, but it's because of the Lucius support when she's like being like all jealous of Lucius and stuff. I think that's like super weird.
That is what sells it 100%.
Because like the Raven support is just like, oh, has kids, like you say you're gonna marry me, you can't leave me, brother, you can't do that. And then Raven's like, go home, why are you here?
Like that could be chalked up as just like you know abandonment issues.
Yeah, definitely. But with the like Lucius one is like, whoa.
The Lucius one recontextualizes that.
Definitely. I'm like, I got like the Priscilla B support, like I'm like getting their support because I thought it would be good because I'm using Priscilla and she needs support partners, and you get Raven before Heath, so I was just going with that one. I was going with that one.
It's just a little bit weird, a little bit funky, doing something mean to it. That's it. I guess that's it. I mean, I can't really think of anything else to fucking say about FE7. I think we covered the grounds pretty well. All things considered. I mean, we did a lot of meandering, but I feel like I said everything.
Yeah, definitely.
That I feel like I said everything.
Well, yeah, that was our first. This was the grand return of the CoMcast podcast. It was super based.
Wait, there was shit that happened before this.
Subscribe, man.